Welcome to Magic Academy Admission Day, the ultimate testing ground for fresh meat. And first up, Leo Jun, the absolute golden boy, who trained directly under the association president. My guy casually draws his blade and obliterates every single dummy in one breath. Flawless. Deadly. Bro is just a freshman, but swings like a grandmaster. Next up, our local Ice Queen steps to the plate. Bam. One freezing spell and the entire field is wiped clean. The crowd is going wild. They are already crowning her the top sophomore. Plus, she is absolutely gorgeous. But wait, the real showstopper, Miss Yu stepping up with her blazing fire magic. And let us be honest, the crowd is not just sweating from the heat. She looks like a seasoned pro. Honestly, if the golden boy did not exist, she would be the undisputed queen. Alright, enough greatness. Time for our official class, a loser Kim Sun-woo. Wait, the professor is actually sweating, because our boy is casually charging up compressed mana materialization. A god-tier technique meant for absolute veterans. The golden boy is shook. The fire queen is speechless. Our dude winds up for an earth-shattering pitch, launches his ultimate attack, and the crowd holds their breath. But then, pop. The spell literally fizzles out into thin air. Crickets. The absolute silence of secondhand embarrassment. Some guy finally yells, "Why charge an ultimate if you shoot blanks?" Boom. Just like that, our main man secures his title as the absolute biggest clown on campus. Tragic right. Wrong. It is all going exactly to plan. Let them laugh. Let them remember his pathetic face. Because Sun Woo possesses a totally busted cheat system. The rule is simple. The more people gossip about him, the stronger he gets. Public humiliation. Please, that is just an all-you-can-eat experience buffet. He is going to farm every single drop of cringe for raw power. The campus girls look at him like actual garbage. Which is honestly fantastic. Free stats, baby. They tell him to touch grass and stay away from their precious golden boy. Because everyone is completely obsessed with Leo Jun. The flawless protagonist, the absolute hero. But here is the massive plot twist that nobody sees coming. The golden boy is doomed to die. Sun Woo already grabbed the VIP seat to the apocalypse. He watched the almighty hero fail the sky crumble and the whole world dissolve into purple ash. Trusting the protagonist was his worst mistake. So now, he has rewound time by 7 years, proudly wearing the class clown badge. Because playing the fool is his only strategy to farm enough system points, break the timeline, and actually save the world. 232 students permanently burned that pathetic display into their brains. That is 1,000 points. In just one single day of acting like a total scrub, he cashed in 10,000 points. But suffering from success has a price. He is officially trending. The blooper reel is live on every screen. The very next morning, he struts into class and immediately gets swarmed by the haters. Bro literally got cancelled in real life, they whisper. Enter Park Hwan, a smug blonde extra looking for screen time. "Hey loser, thanks for the comedy show yesterday," he snickers. He ruthlessly mocks his fizzled magic, then accuses our boy of bribing the headmaster to get accepted. This arrogant brat officially crowns him trash, demanding Sun Woo become his personal fetch dog or face high school hell. Let us skip to lunch. The cafeteria is buzzing. Sun Woo is casually eating with the golden boy and his buddy Shin, just chilling like absolute bosses. Meanwhile, glaring daggers from across the room, we have Seo Yuna. She is fuming. No laughing, no gossip. Just pure, unadulterated rage as she tries to solve an impossible mystery. How on earth did the school's biggest laughingstock secure a seat at the VIP protagonist table? She is absolutely seething because Sun Woo is monopolizing her crush bros before girls is a real threat in this academy. Fast forward to practice session number 2. Our boy has been secretly shopping in the system store, juicing his stats. He steps up to the plate. Everyone smirks, getting their popcorn ready for failure part 2. But wait, he focuses. Boom, a flawlessly pure blue sphere of condensed mana materializes instantly. He fires it like a cannonball straight into the dummy, completely vaporizing it into dust. Absolute devastation. The peanut gallery is paralyzed. The same bullies laughing yesterday are currently picking their jaws off the floor. Wait, was that actually good? Someone stutters. Another whispers, he is way better than expected, and they are absolutely right. It defies all logic. The Academy's #1 joke just leveled up faster in 24 hours than seniors do in an entire year. Suddenly, his phone buzzes. You have been added to a group chat with Shinji, Yua, and Jung. He only recognizes Yuna. She is secretly a massive future powerhouse. But right now, she is totally clueless about her hidden potential. Jung pings the group asking for their combat specs. With a huge grin, Sun Woo types back, "Elementless manifestation." The extra points out the obvious. Everyone knows So Jun is the ultimate carry, making the rest of them glorious meat shields. To snatch that #1 spot, they must crush Ura's squad. Cut to the training field where magic missiles are flying. The instructor shakes her head at one girl. Stop hyper-focusing on control and just blast the thing. Pour some juice into it. So she does. A blinding orb of pure fire erupts from her hands, draining every last drop of her mana pool. The entire class instructor included drops their jaws. Who knew this kid was an absolute nuke disguised as a student? But the teach plays it cool. Ah, the raw power of youth. Her mana control is still graceful as a drunken goblin. Suddenly, K-boom, a massive blue explosion rocks the field. It is our boy Kim flexing hard and feeling like an absolute boss. The instructor does a double take. Before, this kid was so obsessed with shaping his magic that he could not cast. But now, he tosses out perfect spells with practically zero mana. Finding your own flaws at that age is basically a superpower. Class dismissed. As everyone drags their exhausted bodies to rest, the teacher stops Kim dead in his tracks before he escapes. She gives him a pat on the back, and our guy casually flexes his off-screen grinding. But then, she drops the bomb. Have you been skipping your mana cultivation? Busted Kim sweats as he realizes his pathetic mana pool is painfully obvious. He nods nervously. The teach sighs, admitting his skills are god tier, but his gas tank is completely empty right now. Time to hit the mystical gym. Kim swears he is grinding, so she tosses him a shiny new mana-breathing bracelet. Our boy feels a bit awkward, getting free loot from an authority figure, but she waves it off like pocket change. Chill, it is just an F-rank item. Basically the dollar store version of magic. He says thanks and struts off proudly. He admires his new drip, but lurking in the shadows is Yu, glaring holes into his back. She demands his attention. Kim rolls his eyes. Lady, why are we talking after the absolute dumpster fire of our last conversation? The red-eyed girl sneers. She brings up his new squad, with Seo Jun. Kim squints. Who is leaking my patch notes? She accuses him immediately. You massive leech, she loudly declares that first place has her name on it before stomping away like an angry toddler. Kim blinks. Wow, someone needs a nap. Fast forward to morning and our hero sprints for his life to avoid tardiness. Lee claps. First time the dream team is assembled, so let us absolutely dominate this semester. The hype is totally real. But Shin ruins the mood. What a wild party. The literal best and absolute worst join together. Kim senses the shade. The punk questions if our low-level trash can even survive after bombing the exams. Kim completely ignores the obvious bait. He maintains a majestic poker face. Young chimes in, saying it is fine because Lee will babysit the little deadweight. Oh, Kim sees right through. This Young is planning to ride Lee's coattails to graduation. He also notes Yoon's big moment is delayed. The butterfly effect strikes again. Teaming up definitely altered the timeline. Honestly, surviving this test with these clowns is a coin toss. The proctor steps up to explain the dungeon mechanics. Listen up, rookies. Here is exactly how you do not die today. 2 shifts, morning and afternoon. Day 1 is strictly floor 1. You speedrunners out there. Going fast means fat points. Now for the carry bonus. The bigger the level gap between you and your deadweight teammates, the more points you snag. Lastly, fake dungeons have an assist system. Play nice, buff your squad, and get rewarded. Now try not to get eaten. The gates open. The hype is off the charts. Meanwhile, Mr. Jang retreats to the monitor room where the real game begins. The teachers are ready to gamble. Everyone immediately throws their money at Ara's overpowered top-tier magical squad. But wait. One absolute madman of a teacher puts all his chips on Team 3. Seo Jun's messy underdog squad. Both leaders dragged low-tier scrubs along for the point multiplier, but the power gap is hilariously wide between them. The wildcard teacher argues that Lee's squad is a ticking time bomb. Even Lee has limits with physical enhancement, magic. That buff style is strictly for punching things in the face. Without proper support, a mob swarm will chew him up. Meanwhile, Yu's team is just nuking everything, with area of effect, spells, and speed running through the very first floor. The teacher smirks. Just wait and see. Cut back to the dungeon, where Lee effortlessly slices a massive beast into sushi. The squad trudges deeper, surrounded by creepy rats and sketchy fog. Shin and Jung are busy fangirling over their leader's sick moves. They brag about being halfway done and wonder what the boss looks like. Yoon is trembling, convinced they will get annihilated. She nervously asks Lee what horrors await them. Without missing a single beat, he casually replies with a straight face, a giant wolf. Shin loses his absolute mind. How the heck could you possibly know that you scrub? The guy shrugs it off. Just a hunch. But the joke is, he has already played this level. Shin glares, fully convinced he is a pathological liar. Lee tells them to ignore it. The leader barks at everyone to stop whining and start jogging. They obey, but suddenly Lee throws up a hand. No joke. Looking around, Shin teases if the great Seo Jun gets spooked. But wait. There is actually something glowing on the ground. It is a mysterious blue magic circle, totally clueless and freaked out. Young asks if they are doomed, but Shin casually bets that they would not just leave a deadly trap lying around. Kim crouches like a pro while his panicked teammate begs him to be careful. Our boy shrugs it off. Just checking, he declares it harmless. Merely a basic barrier. The chubby dude sweats and demands to know his secret. The hilarious truth. Our regressor saw this exact same spell in his past life. He shoves his hand into the light. Boom. Absolutely nothing happens. Sweating bullets, Shin pretends he totally knew that. Completely lost, Young asks if they must run away since their path is blocked, while Yoon hunts for a loophole. Suddenly, Lee commands everyone to step back. He is going to slice magic with a sword. His aura explodes into a terrifyingly heavy strike. It actually leaves a massive crack in the unbreakable barrier. The squad goes wild, celebrating their genius swordsman. But 3 seconds later, the crack completely heals up. The disappointment hits like a truck. Still, our stubborn leader refuses to quit, ready for round 2. Shin awkwardly asks if it is his time to shine. Nice try, buddy, but you are still just the support. Our sneaky main character crouches back down and taps the glowing blue barrier. A weird sensation zaps his hand. Squinting like a grandmaster, he sighs and announces it is going to take a solid 40 minutes. But wait. Kim snatches his hand away with a cocky grin. Our overpowered hero slaps both hands onto the ancient symbol. Blinding light erupts. He activates his absolute cheat skill. Outsiders benefit, instantly decoding the complex magic formula. Ding. A classic system window pops up. Location, floor level, difficulty rating, and the boss specs. Next, he dumps his skills straight into the circle and bam, the mighty barrier melts away like butter. The squad is absolutely hyped. Our outsider casually says, piece of cake. Jaws drop everywhere. That was ridiculously fast. Even the stoic Seo Jun is wide-eyed and super intrigued. Ding, that is an easy 5,000 points for interest. Level 1. The kid is just baffled. But before anyone can throw a party, a massive, terrifying wolf crashes the scene. Dripping with a sinister red aura, the first floor boss is already charging right at them. Drooling like a maniac, Young nervously chuckles that Kim was right. Lee instantly steps up, raising his brilliantly glowing blade at the beast. Swoosh. One insanely massive slash, and the poor doggy is instantly split clean in half. Classic overpowered swordsman behavior, treating a fearsome boss like a totally random scrub. Finally, mission accomplished. An official greets them, clapping for Team 3, snagging second place. Lee competitively asks who beat them. Surprise, surprise, Team 7 cleared it 30 minutes faster, but our stoic leader barely blinks. Meanwhile, Young shivers. Yoon is a total monster. She cleared her side in 4 hours and 11 minutes. 2 minutes slower, and Team 3 would have eaten their dust in third place. Lee turns and genuinely thanks Kim. Without his cheat skills, they were doomed. Bromance is blooming. The leader admits that if that annoying barrier had not been smashed so ridiculously fast, they would be eating dirt. He humbly sighs, but Yoon smirks and reminds him that they would not have survived without his crazy sword skills either. Let us be real, this was just the tutorial floor. Plenty of time for our chaotic team to turn things around. Suddenly, a voice targets our boy, Kim Sun-woo. He turns around. Oh great, it is the nagging support magic teacher. She marches over with a supposedly irresistible offer. Transfer to the support department right this second. Sun-woo blinks, utterly confused. Then he casually says, nah, I am good. The poor teacher is absolutely flabbergasted. He rejected her before she even mentioned the super rare talent scholarship worth 5 million points. Our absolute mad lad literally could not care less. She slumps away defeated while his friends scream, are you totally insane? They roast his terrible manifestation magic skills, swearing anyone else would have begged for that deal. Yoon asks if he is seriously throwing away tons of VIP perks. With a mysterious smirk, he thanks them, but boldly claims he is sticking to manifestation magic like a stubborn mule. The scary girl actually looks impressed. Meanwhile, in another hallway, a random girl spots our interesting hero. He turns around awkwardly and just says, hi. She totally butchers his name, calling him Kim Shinwook, acting obnoxiously cute. Annoyed, he flatly corrects her. It is Kim Sun-woo. Ignoring his tone, she points and asks if he is cleaning. Our hilariously tidy hero bluntly says he was dirty, so he took out the trash. The weird girl giggles, calling him super cool. Then she spins around, sings goodbye, and wishes him a lovely day. But wait, the camera pans and her face is twisted in utter disgust, mocking his pointless sweeping. Ding Snail Bride achievement unlocked, plus 1,000 juicy points, the hilarious truth. Our fake neat freak mage was literally only cleaning to farm system achievements. Hey, a hustle is a hustle. But creepily, a mysterious shadow is spying on our outsider from afar. Cut to Monster Hunting 101. The professor lists boring humanoids, fluffy beasts, and annoying flying types. But the absolute worst nightmare of all, the dreaded demonized. The professor smugly asks the room why they are so scary. Smarty Pants Kim perfectly explains that unless they willingly drop their sneaky disguise or rage quit their human act, they are literally impossible to spot in a crowd. Spot on. These freaks still sip human life fluid like juice boxes and mind control monsters. Basically, a walking societal disaster. And since they look exactly demons blending in, humans are totally clueless. Without special gear, you would never guess. until their eyes turn completely pitch black. Sweating bullets. Kim remembers the original plot. This week features the notorious first demon eye incident. That is exactly when Lee casually beats one to a pulp despite being a mere student. It makes massive headlines. Sure, the main character can easily handle it, but Kim needs to double-check for any sneaky dangers. Plus, if he is going to shadow Seojun, he desperately needs cash. Fast forward a bit, Kim is deep in meditation, grinding his mana pool. His base hits 200, but thanks to his nature's blessing skill, jumping 12%, our boy scoops up another 300. The relentless side hustle training is finally paying off. Then, out of nowhere, a wild system alert appears. Nature's Blessing hits Class 2, unlocking the elusive Heart of Nature trait. Absolutely hyped, Kim realizes dropping points on that skill was a total masterstroke. The cooldown is a nightmare, but his mana regeneration is downright absurd. Recovery spikes 1000% for 1 full minute. A glorious once-a-day trump card, Kim absolutely adores his manifestation class. Then he recalls that annoying teacher trying to force him into a boring support role. Breaking barriers is normally useless for outsiders since they cannot cast them. But man, that academic scholarship money would be incredibly sweet. Right now, he is rocking a pathetic 30,801 in his bank account. Ah, the tragic reality of being a completely broke student. Still, our cunning mage hatches a get-rich-quick scheme. Dungeon clearing, monster hunting, way too much risk of dying a horrible death. But what about the classic fantasy loophole? Tower climbing. Our guy could easily farm the lower levels, but there is one final boss, the underage barrier. He legally cannot get entry permission. Suddenly, a brilliant, highly questionable idea strikes the brat. Cut to that night, teachers are gossiping about a truly model student. Kim Sunwoo, a second year, showed up at the crack of dawn just to clean the classroom. Beaming with pride, a teacher praises his laser-like focus and class participation. The female instructor shrugs, claiming that is just standard overachieving behavior for manifestation prodigies. They tried to reassign him, but our sneaky protagonist played the perfect angel to stay exactly where he is. Still, they absolutely love seeing such an upstanding youth. Meanwhile, our little scammer is racking his brain until he discovers a massive loophole. He does not actually need to be a high schooler. He is practically kissing his own genius brain. Ding. The hidden achievement, beloved by teachers, pops up. Snagging a juicy 2,000 points makes our boy grin like an absolute maniac. Wasting zero time, he hits the system shop and blows 10,000 points. Emitting a totally villainous aura, Kim has a foolproof plan to get filthy rich, all thanks to his highly suspicious purchase. Saturday morning rolls around. A grumpy guard demands his mage license. Kim hands it over, rocking fake glasses and slicked back hair. The ultimate Clark Kent disguise. The guard squints suspiciously, but when he scans the card, the device freezes. Beep. It reads, C-rank mage Kim Jinwoo, 25 years old, fully verified. Our boy is internally screaming with joy. He acted confident, but using a black market system ID was absolutely terrifying. In this world, mage licenses are bound by complex magic formulas, making forgeries fundamentally impossible. Good thing system hacks beat magic. Disguise complete, a sharply focused. Kim plans to speedrun the tower, then rush to the Han River by 9:30 to play secret bodyguard during Lee's epic showdown. An eerie voice echoes welcoming him to the Tower of Trials. The system grants him access up to floor 27. The haunting voice demands his choice. Kim picks floor 10, but a warning flashes, repeating cleared floors heavily, nerfs the loot. Smiling like a madman, our boy completely ignores the warning. He has a highly secret agenda. Stepping through the portal, he enjoys the magical fast travel. Different towers boast completely unique monsters and utterly unhinged trap designs. It is a total gamble. The Tower of Trials, infamous from the original web novel, is notoriously brutal, scaring off most veteran hunters. Kim struts in and is instantly ambushed by a massive, terrifying wolf. The demonic beast lunges for the kill, looking like pure nightmare fuel. Boom. One lazy, perfectly aimed spell vaporizes the mutt instantly. Honestly, the monsters in this entry zone are absolute fodder. Ding first hunt achievement unlocked. 1,000 points in the bank. The actual nightmare of this specific tower. Insane traps and high-level magic puzzles hiding everywhere. In other words, an absolute playground for a magical nerd like him. He has plenty of time to sweep the board so the farming continues. Meanwhile, at the Han River, massive crowds are swarming, and it is not even festival season yet. Lee's buddy begs for a group selfie to capture the memory. Cut back to our hero, who is casually obliterating the entire local ecosystem. Without breaking a sweat, he loots a shiny magic gem. Hey, at least it covers the expensive taxi fare. Scanning the dungeon walls, our metagamer pinpoints the hidden sweet spot. He presses his palm against the stone and it violently explodes with golden light. Ding professional barrier breaker achievement unlocked. 2,000 points secured. By completely breaking the game's logic, he just glitched into the tower's hidden stage. the imaginary world. The entire tower shudders in a total panic as mysterious mana violently erupts. Naturally, the system massively rewards its favorite hacker. Mystery Explorer achievement, a staggering 5,000 points. Kim is practically vibrating with pure greed. A celestial voice begins broadcasting an epic message. A blinding, beautiful golden aura sweeps the room. The stone goddess basically demands the kid to flex his worth. Her eyes flash, unleashing a massive shockwave, and suddenly a sprinkle of cute little stars bursts from the flowers. Wait, nope. Those are fairies, and their giggles sound totally psychotic. Sure, they are only C-rank fodder, but here is the catch. These pint-sized terrors are completely unhinged, losing their tiny minds whenever they spot a human. Smack. He swats one right out of the air. Speed is the name of the game, so he starts swinging like an absolute madman, praying his wild punches. Connect. But hold up. Kim pauses, slapping his palms against the magic barrier. Reality check. Squashing these flying pests will not actually clear the floor. Beating up fairies hardly screams, "I am the chosen one." Time for plan B. He fires up his outsider perk, chanting the ancient formula. Yet, the stubborn statue keeps demanding a proper flex of his worth. Kim smirks. His ultimate flex. Hacking her fancy magic formula. Basically, he dumps all his broken outsider skills on the table. Ding the Tower of Trials acknowledges his genius, slapping 10,000 points into his account and blessing him with a slick D-rank adaptive trait. The loot drop is insane: an enchanted tome, a spicy red dragon soul, 1 sacred seed, and 5 mystical herbs. Boom, his magic stat skyrockets by 5 whole levels. His mana regeneration gets a 20% buff, plus a 10% boost to raw power. The system happily cheers his secret floor clear. Meanwhile, the festival is popping off, but looking at their selfie, Lee spots a massive red flag. There is a super sketchy dude lurking in the background, looking entirely unhuman. This top hat wearing grandpa is actually a demon. Stumbling like a zombie, he tries playing the normal civilian card. Kim checks the clock. It is almost 9:30. Where the heck is Lee? Oh crap, the creep locks eyes with our hero. Guess he is stuck playing the hero since this is clearly a main story event. But if he rushes in and breaks the plot, the butterfly effect could wreck everything. A random civilian kindly asks if the demon is okay. Big mistake. The beast glares, leaking a blood-red aura. Kim needs to act fast. Sadly, the helpful civilian immediately catches a one-way ticket to the afterlife. The monster punches a literal donut hole through his chest. He tosses the guy like garbage, suddenly flexing muscles that would make a bodybuilder cry. The demon snaps its neck toward a terrified girl. Panic erupts. The crowd absolutely loses their minds, screaming about a berserk monster and begging for backup. Kim ditches his inner monologue. Plot be damned, he cannot just stand around. He charges up, saving real lives, totally beats, following a novel script. Cut to Lee and the gang shoving that creepy selfie into a special forces guard face. The pro confirms their worst fear. A demon, hearing it is right around the corner, the guard sweats. This is an absolute disaster. The festival is packed, and these freaks level up by eating humans. Suddenly, a massive shockwave of mana explodes in the distance. The elite guard sprints toward the chaos at full speed. Arriving at the scene, Lee drops his jaw. Who is this crazy guy boxing a demon to save a girl? The beast unleashes a heavy haymaker, but she miraculously survives thanks to a flimsy table. Our outsider realizes he is way out of position and needs a new strat. The hulking freak charges right at the poor girl. Eyes narrowed, our hero calculates the odds. This ugly brute screams B rank. Punching it in the face is pure suicide. So he channels a spicy ball of magic and snipes its obvious weak point, the back of the neck. Boom. A decent-sized explosion rattles the street. Glowing blue shards rain down, but the beefy bastard just tanks it, flexing for round 2. Great. Half its ugly face is melted off, but incredibly, the flesh starts knitting back together. Kim curses his luck. He totally fumbled by not turning its brain into absolute mush. Now, the demon is big mad. A toxic purple aura wraps around its bulky frame as it launches at the squishy mage like a freight train. Kim wanted to save his trump card, but beggars cannot be choosers. The Heart of Nature activates his mana recovery, breaks the system, spiking to a ridiculous 1000% per minute. Bathed in glowing energy, Kim smirks. Sure, 60 seconds might not kill this raid boss, but he is about to leave some serious emotional damage. He spams every spell in his arsenal. The demon tries to block, getting absolutely deep-fried and battered in the process. But our boy is not done yet. The timer is still ticking. The beast cowers under a relentless magical barrage, while our glasses-wearing Gigachad practically dares it to fight back. He aims a massive finisher right at its ugly mug, making the demon shriek like a banshee. Just a little more, and he might actually win. Beep time is up. The mana well runs dry, and awkwardly enough, the freak is still breathing. Crispy, sure, but already healing. Just as Kim prepares to die, the elite guard swoops in, dicing the monster into instant sashimi. He sheathes his blade casually, declaring the threat neutralized. The absolute show-off introduces himself as Agent Zhang from the Special Forces, tossing Kim a thumbs up for softening the boss. Wiping off the demon dust, the pro asks for his magic license to process the shiny bounty reward. But Zhang drops his jaw. Wait, this absolute madman is only a measly C rank. He swore the kid was hitting like a B rank. Meanwhile, Kim spots his slacker friends gawking from the sidelines. He scowls. Nice of them to finally show up after the boss fight. As for the peanut gallery, they are just squinting, wondering why this badass looks so familiar. Detective Lee corners our boy. He demands to know if he recognizes a certain Kim Sun-woo. He adds that this target attends the prestigious Magic Academy. Shin squints, suspecting a family tie. But our sneaky protagonist plays dumb. Never heard of him. Zhang sighs. The kid just looks like a total nobody. He waves them off. The agent showers our hero with gratitude. But Lee still smells something fishy. Slapping on his best innocent smile, our mage plays the humble citizen card. Zhang finally takes off. The press and cleanup crew are already swarming. Kim drops a deep bow to his savior. But suddenly, ding, the blue system window pops up. He just bagged an assist on a B-rank villain. Uh-oh. Did he just derail the original plotline? A minor anomaly detected. The payout. 5,300 points. Coincidence stats tick up by 0.2. Kim connects the dots. His meddling is rewriting fate itself. If Lee was doomed to die in the original draft, now he has the power to change his destiny, hitting 100%. Coincidence turns him into a literal god. He could wish for anything, even a ticket back to reality. Hesitation. Tossed out the window. New mission accepted. Protect Lee, farm those sweet coincidence points, and crash every plot point possible. Plus, he just scored 15 million won for that demon kill, but lugging a giant trident back to school. Total nightmare. This actually works out perfectly. Time to kick back and burn some cash. Next stop, the ridiculously luxurious Hanung Hotel. It is not just a building. It is a global powerhouse, dripping with absolute power and filthy wealth. They are major players in the original plot. Strutting into the massive lobby, our kid spots Han Sajin, the big boss vice chairman of the Hansung Group. An assistant mentions his sister wants dinner. That is when Kim catches a juicy detail. The chairman has not seen his sister Sean in ages. Ding. Our clever protagonist remembers her exact character profile. Anyway, that flashy trident has got to go. Time to pawn it. But that enchanted scroll. Totally saving that for later. He plans to use the mystic herbs to bait the vice chairman's sister. Sadly, that scheme waits until tomorrow. Fast forward to morning. The news anchors are losing their minds. Someone is going viral for crushing the hidden floor of the Tower of Trials. A lowly C-rank mage just styled on a rampaging demon right at the Han River. The mystery hero, Kim Jin-woo, and the guild is already discussing a massive rank promotion. The internet is completely breaking over him. Ding, new title unlocked. Little hero. 2 million normal citizens are singing his praises. He is insanely pumped. 21,000 free points just from going viral. But with his face plastered everywhere, it is time to make his move on Han Shan. Whispers follow him down the street. Our boy is absolutely eating up the fame. But suddenly, a terrifying aura hits him. The legendary S-rank swordmaster of the family, Jang Suji. Cold sweat drips down his face. You do not just bump into an S-rank on a Tuesday. Thankfully, the receptionist recognizes our rising star. He drops his name and demands a direct meeting with the director. He is selling tower-exclusive herbs. The gorgeous director smirks. Entertaining the man of the hour. How amusing. But her eyes are glued to the magical loot he brought. Sean feels its insane power, but it is completely missing the normal mana veins found in standard magical herbs. She narrows her eyes. This is too high tier to process easily. How did a rookie even identify this? Our sly hero bluffs smoothly. Just a little hobby studying ancient medicine. It is a legendary catalyst ingredient. It hyper-boosts the power of any potion. But alone, basically a weed. And right now, no one in this world knows how to refine it. Except for the genius pharmacist sitting right across from him. She raises a skeptical eyebrow. She knows the item is priceless. So, what is his asking price? Our greedy little tactician smiles. He demands 500 million won and 0.005% of Hanung Pharmaceutical shares. Sean blinks in absolute confusion. That micro percentage is hilarious. Does this kid even know the colossal scale of her empire? But Kim leans in. Talk is cheap. When this sacred herb hits the shelves, it will completely monopolize the entire market. The icy heiress tries to pivot to a flat buyout, but our boy is playing chess, not checkers. He demands VIP auction access and a rare custom potion. Oh, and he will gladly pay out of pocket. Intrigued, Sean asks if he is using her as an errand girl. Kim smirks. In exchange, he will hand over her brother's biggest weakness. Our protagonist knows her true dark ambition. She wants the chairman's seat, and she will burn her own family to ash to get it. Cut to the underworld. The demon faction is raging over Jang Han getting smoked. They are seething because they could have saved him. A massive monster roars in pure frustration. He swears he could have intervened, but the higher-up demon barks at Beck Gang to stand down. It is a direct order, saving an idiot who went berserk in broad daylight. Total suicide for their faction. But the enraged beast is not having it. He gnashes his teeth, sick of hiding in the pathetic shadows. His eyes glow with murderous intent. He vows to rip that little pest Kim Jin-woo to shreds. The demon lackey sweats. Boss, are you sure? The target is super close to their client, but Beck literally couldn't care less. He doesn't even know the guy. Listen, Beck smirks. Some psychos will happily chop up their own flesh and blood for fun. Speaking of two-faced psychos, Sean puts on her best fake smile. Long time no see, dear brother. Sajin immediately pokes the bear. How's the company running? Sean sighs dramatically. Work is absolute torture. Dealing with idiots all day is draining my soul. Her brother swoops in like a vulture. Dad was totally crazy to give you the reins so early. Sean rolls her eyes internally. Oh, if it's too hard, Big Sis can take over. Just hand over the company rights anytime. Meanwhile, our boy Kim is busy saving her number. Using burner accounts is just basic survival. Better safe than sorry. Plus, his master plan is working flawlessly. Thanks to Sean, he can finally breathe. This woman isn't just pretty, she's sharp. Seriously smart. She's definitely double-checking if his juicy gossip about her brother is actually legit. Right on cue, Kim's phone buzzes. It's Sean. Fine. I'll be your little messenger pigeon. But only for 1 month. She wires the cash up front like an absolute boss. Need anything else, she texts. Boom, trust, level up. That's another 1,000 points right into his pocket. Kim instantly orders a super sketchy potion. Oh, and a VIP ticket to the illegal underground arena. She agrees to hook him up. But Kim is sweating bullets over those demons. He read the web novel. He knows a revenge arc is coming. Panicking. He drops serious cash on a killing intent sensor skill. Now he can sense any bloodthirsty maniac within 500 meters. The catch. It costs a gut-wrenching 50,000 points. Goodbye, my hard-earned points. But hey, dying is way more expensive. Fast forward a few days and his sketchy juice arrives. A cocktail of divine herbs. The side effects. Completely unhinged. It supercharges mana recovery by 500% for 5 minutes. But after that, 0 mana for 30 whole minutes. Basically a suicide drink. Sean squints at him. Why would a genius mage drink this garbage? It's super suspicious. And more importantly, how is this masked weirdo basically an encyclopedia on her family drama? She checked her brother's search history after Kim dropped that hint. The results. Absolutely terrifying. She knew her brother was an edgelord, but an actual murderer. That wasn't on her bingo card. Worse, she found traces of his late-night chats with literal demons. Demons, bro. She demands to know his sources. Little does she know he just read the original Manhwa. Yep, Sajin is pure trash. Greed turned him into a full-blown villain. Playing it cool, Kim smirks. I'll spill the tea. For a sweet 5% cut of your profits. 5%, Sean scoffs. Just say you don't want to tell me, cheapskate. Oh, and about that sketchy underground arena ticket. Plot twist. It's non-transferable. Looks like they're going on a weird, violent date together. Noticing her flashy disguise, Kim chuckles. So, that's why you dressed up like a secret agent. What's your master plan, she asks. Kim's eyes sparkle with pure greed. I made some cash. Now I'm gonna gamble it all. Sean's jaw hits the floor. You risked your life just to play the slots. Kim just nods like a goofball. She facepalms so hard. Wow, you're actually a degenerate. Her respect for him plummets to absolute zero. But Kim literally couldn't care less. He slaps on a ridiculous golden rabbit mask. By tonight, he'll be swimming in gold coins anyway. At the entrance, a creepy masked dude hands them VIP wristbands. Long time no see, the guy purrs. Kim freezes in sheer panic. Holy crap, it's the final boss. The S-Class demon harangue. Of course, this overpowered psychopath is running the illegal fight club. Our boy needs to lay low before he gets swatted like a bug. The arena is packed to the brim. The crowd is going absolutely feral. Kim chuckles. They're all here for Yang Hongju. He's the undisputed fan favorite. A brutal mage who's dominated the ring for 3 straight years. The guy is basically an absolute unit. Sean does the math and groans. We won't make a dime here. Everyone is obviously betting on the champion. But our sly fox has a script. He casually drops 530 million. On the absolute nobody fighting the champion, Sean chokes on her own spit. She doesn't even know who this underdog is. Backstage, the demonic staff are losing their minds. Some idiot just bet a fortune on the underdog, the only clue. That stupid golden rabbit mask, the demon boss just laughs it off. Probably just some bored billionaire throwing away his lunch money. A rich idiot with zero taste in fighters. Meanwhile, the assassin Beck finally tracks Kim down. A nasty grin spreads across his face. He's been hunting this ghost for days. Get the car ready. Beck snarls. Tonight we get bloody revenge for Jong Han. Back in the pit, the violence is off the charts. Two meatheads clash. But the loser instantly cries for his mommy and surrenders. First round over. The crowd boos in absolute disgust. A whole lot of degenerate gamblers just lost their rent money. Sean shivers at the toxic vibe. Underground fights are built different. Though surprisingly, the refs stop it at a simple knockout. Now, for the main event, Ryang, holding a measly 530 million, versus the champion's colossal 2.8 billion. Kim's grin grows wider. These sheep all bet on the safe horse. The crowd laughs about the suicidal lunatic who bet on Ryang. That idiot is kissing his savings goodbye. But our hero is entirely unbothered. If his web novel knowledge holds up, he's multiplying his cash. By 6 times, baby. The fighters finally step into the blood-stained ring. Sean gasps. Wait, that weight class difference is an absolute joke. The dude is literally built like a twig. But our boy Kim isn't just here for a quick buck. The infamous John Group, those major endgame villains, recruit this skinny legend Ryan later on. Naturally, Kim just had to grab front row seats to see this guy throw hands. Sweating bullets, our young scammer prays to the plot armor gods. The original novel said he wins right. Twig Boy is supposedly undefeated here. Meanwhile, the meathead opponent Yang is already crying about matchmaking. He seriously has to crush a stick bug. He promises a quick nap for Ryan. Meathead charges in like a raging bull, but Casper the friendly ghost casually sidesteps it. But plot twist, Ryan immediately eats a massive right hook. He gets yeeted straight into the concrete wall, and Kim's faith in the novel instantly shatters. Outside, Beck pulls up to the club. This shady demon boss wants blood right now, but crashing Rion's turf is a rookie mistake. The show wraps up at 10:30, so he can afford to wait before deleting Kim. Back in the ring, Ryan is getting served an absolute buffet of fists. He is basically a human punching bag. Yang barks at him to stay down, delivering a brutal kick that would send anyone to the Shadow Realm. Looks like our long-haired twig just got utterly folded. Kim is absolutely flabbergasted. But wait, just when you think the fat lady sang, a literal spear bursts right through Yang's chest. Ryan rises, looking like a straight-up zombie, but he still has gas in the tank. This just makes the giant meathead completely lose his marbles. But then Ryan summons a dozen glowing purple aura spikes. He blasts them right into Yang, turning the big guy into a human pincushion. Yeah, nobody walks away from that. Meathead crashes to the dirt completely out cold. The entire arena drops into dead silence, jaws practically hitting the floor. Kim smirks, grabs his coat, and dips. But outside, the demon boss senses something fishy. Ryan's comeback was way too lucky, and that specific bet smells like absolute cheating. Boss Man instantly orders his goons to hunt down tonight's lottery winner. Meanwhile, Seon is interrogating Kim. How the heck did he know Twig Boy would actually win? Kim hits her with the classic just a hunch excuse. She pouts, completely annoyed. But hey, our boy just bagged over 3 billion and unlocked the shiny, incomparable gambler achievement. Seon's trust is up. Her interest level hit 1. That is 7,000 sweet points. He is finally getting his investment back. But suddenly, a massive wave of pure killing intent drops. Kim suddenly remembers the lore. A crazy demon was supposed to avenge Jang. Seon asks why he looks so spooked, and Kim quickly begs her for a solid favor. Meanwhile, the underling Seon reports a movement shift. Beck barks at his driver to slam the brakes and zero in on our scammer. Stepping out, the villain realizes the lady has mysteriously vanished. He takes one look at Kim and scoffs. Did this scrawny zero-muscle nerd actually defeat Janang? The kid's energy is laughably weak, but Kim isn't waiting around. He chugs his special 5-minute power potion. It tastes like absolute hot garbage, but the buff is real. Our MC knew this stalker was coming. Beck raises an eyebrow at the sudden monospike, but he is still not impressed. The demon casually summons a terrifying array of blazing fire spears. Without a second thought, he launches the fiery barrage. But surprise, Buddy Kim already had his glowing blue magic orb and spear totally primed. The spells violently clash, painting the sky with explosions. But 2 stray spears slice through the smoke, aiming directly for Kim's face. Time to show off those dodge rolls. Boom, a massive shockwave rocks the entire park. Hiding in the car, Seon is biting her nails. A flashback shows Kim casually mentioning a creepy stalker tailing them. Corporate sabotage, he playfully shrugged it off. He had specifically told her to drive to the middle of nowhere, but can this kid really solo a boss? Kim had admitted the guy was way above B rank. Translation: our boy definitely needs a backup plan. Back to the brawl, Kim Matrix dodges the dual fire spears. He smirks, this is child's play. He used to be a physical reinforcement main after all. Annoyed Beck mocks his dancing skills and instantly summons another fiery volley. Oh crap, Kim's eyes widen as these spears break the sound barrier. He literally has to dive into the dirt to save his skin. The demon is totally fuming now. Meanwhile, Kim's potion timer is ticking down fast. Time to stop playing games. He slams the big red button and activates the Heart of Nature. Beck's jaw drops. The kid's power level just broke the scouter. Kim blitzes the demon with mind-bending speed. Panicking, the red-haired villain desperately conjures even more flames. The threat level is flashing red. If this hits, it is game over. He wildly grabs a fire spear, creating a desperate defensive ring, but Kim is already one step ahead. He violently slams his blue magic orb directly into Beck's chest. The shield crumbles like cheap plastic, but wait, combo time. Kim refuses to let this boss breathe, instantly chaining into another devastating heavy strike. The demon uselessly throws his hands up to block, but his armor is basically paper now. Still, his arms guard the headshot zone. Kim does some quick math smirks and decides to go uppercut straight to the chin. Our hero grabs his neck like a squeaky toy, desperately trying to wrap this up. But bam, the 30-minute cooldown hits like a truck. He can't finish the job, but Beck looks wrecked. Classic villain move, he refuses to quit. Dude summons another flaming spear. This time, he is dead set on roasting our poor kid. Wham! A sneak attack smashes the ugly demon from behind. Enter the absolute legend, Jiang Suji. Kim cries happy tears for the backup. The S-rank swordmaster just deleted A-rank Beck with one spicy strike. So satisfying. Our boy knows this sword psycho is completely broken in the original plot. Jiang looks absolutely disgusted that this trash dared to touch the precious Hanong family princess. Speaking of the princess, Seon checks on our boy. He plays it cool, saying he just stalled for time until her VIP backup arrived. She basically says, duh, my life was on the line too. So she summoned the biggest boss available. Goodbye, trash mob Beck. The plot just twitched a little. And boom, coincidence jumped by 0.6. Seon's trust meter fills up. Cha-ching, another 1,000 points. Naturally, our guy is doing a mental happy dance. Jiang asks if he should snitch to the chairman, since demon ambushes are kind of a big deal, but Kim begs him to zip it. If the media finds out a Hansung heir got jumped, the internet will explode. Kim refuses to break the main storyline further. Seon nods along. Why invite more ridiculous drama? Secret kept? Uncle just goes with the flow. 3 days later, our boy is rotting in bed, scrolling his asked for. So, when the legendary Shinsung potion finally drops, Kim goes full degenerate gambler, dumping his entire savings into the company stock. 1 minute left on the clock, and ding, the market opens. In his tragically broke past life, he spent decades grinding dungeons and still could not afford a tiny studio apartment. Real estate was a myth. He never dreamed getting rich would be this effortlessly hilarious. Honestly, it almost feels like a cheat code. Suddenly, his phone buzzes. Seyoon wants to grab snacks and tease a super secret present. He aggressively speedwalks to the cafe, finding her already chilling. Kim casually brags that the pharma stocks absolutely blasted to the moon today. He is swimming in cash thanks to her tip. Seyoon playfully guesses he bagged 5 billion, but he humbly admits to 3 billion in 24 hours. Praise the director. But seriously, where is this promised loot? She drops the bomb. She tracked down their demon attacker. Sliding a mugshot across the table, she introduces Bake Gang, an infamous hitman doing a terrible job cosplaying as a human. The punchline: he is employed by her awful brother Han Soo-jin. Kim already knew the brother played with demons, just not this exact creep. He appreciates the gossip, but fails to see how this is a present. Surprise, the real gift is physical. Wanting to keep their mutually beneficial alliance thriving, Seyoon slides a fancy little box his way, mentioning her schedule is about to get insanely packed. Smelling drama, Kim asks what is wrong. The fierce director declares that discovering Soo-jin's link to Bake makes the mastermind painfully obvious, and if there is one thing she absolutely despises, it is owing anyone a favor or a revenge beatdown. Kim mentally chuckles, realizing Seyoon is totally misunderstanding her brother's involvement. But hey, Soo-jin is a grade-A villain anyway. Eventually, he will be a massive headache. Letting her weaponize him against the vice director sounds like a genius strategy. Snapping him back to reality, she sweetly hopes he adores the hand-picked loot. Our main character beams with joy, thanking her profusely. It is a crazy, durable mana bracelet. Ding. A magical connection is successfully forged, instantly rewarding him with 1,200 sweet system points. But wait, plot twist. Ryong suddenly gets nosy about Kim. Boom, another 1,500 points. Meanwhile, a dude named Hui is bowing deeply to a demon. 10 long years since their last creepy reunion. He asks if Ryong recognizes the name Kim Jin-woo. He has a tiny little inquiry. Word on the evil street is that his shady buddies, Jang and Beck, got totally wrecked recently, and the common denominator, a pesky human mage. Right before Beck kicked the bucket, he was hunting a kid snooping around this very arena. He demands to know if Ryong has tabs on this Jin-woo kid, and well, Ryong knows exactly who the high-rolling VIP is. On Ryang. Qian shamelessly begs for mercy. He will gladly trade the kid's location and toss that jerk's life away to his own buddies, but the bad guy sneers. Touch his client. Then you better prepare for some absolute destruction. The coward immediately bows, furiously scraping the floor with apologies. Rian just smirks and orders him to deliver a little message to the Demon Council. Qian spits out the truth. The Sacred Prophet's altar just dropped a brand new prophecy. The ultimate demon-slaying child is set to awaken at 18. Oh, and spoiler alert, the Demon King is totally doomed. Ryan rolls his eyes. The king loves his dramatic stunts. He demands the rest of the intel. Qian nervously stammers that the prophecy points straight to an 18-year-old kid, currently chilling at the Magic Academy. So our protagonist decides to skip time to put the Kim Jin-woo drama on pause. Tangling with Rion is a hard pass right now. Bigger fish to fry. He inspects the scroll. A neat little cheat item that blocks exactly one magic attack. It has a 12-hour cooldown. Meanwhile, the dreadful midterm exams are rapidly approaching. Time for the students to flex for the VIP judges. This arc is a game-changer for Lee. A prophesied kid with the ultimate demon-slaying cheat code will soon join the main party. Panicking to crush this threat early, the demon forces crash the school at exactly 4 p.m., but plot armor prevails. Leo Jun absolutely wipes the floor with them. Or well, that is canon anyway. Even without world-ending stakes, this chapter drops massive lore bombs. Our guy absolutely must babysit this prophesied golden child, not just Lee. The instructor suddenly speaks up. Aside from next week's torture schedule, there is one surprise. The exhausted crowd immediately groans. The instructor just smirks. Battle is training, and training is battle. And to prepare, all second-year students are locked into mandatory sparring sessions. If you losers cannot find a battle buddy today, practice with your imaginary friends. Across the room, Yu is glaring daggers at Lee. Watching this, the protagonist realizes those two are teaming up, just like the canon plot. What he definitely did not predict, though, is that he would be the absolute loner of the class. Despite his galaxy brain theory, moments and barrier-breaking stunts, nobody wants to partner with the Academy's biggest trash tier. Well, whatever. None of that pathetic loner stuff matters anyway. Our boy already locked in his target. Meanwhile, Lee is sweating buckets, going completely goblin mode in his training. Whoosh. He barely escapes a brutal strike. A literal inch from a game over. Yu smirks, asking if the great mage is out of mana. Because, if so, first place is hers. Lee grins, telling her to chill out. He hasn't even finished warming up. Nearby, a depressed Yun is spectating. Watching Leo Jun and Yu Ara, the rank 1 and rank 2 gods battle, is soul-crushing. Comparing herself to those geniuses makes her feel absolutely pathetic. Then two extras start plotting to farm easy wins off Yun since she is rank 82. She overhears them mocking her textbook-only brain and zero combat skills. They loudly pity her, claiming her talent totally ghosted her IQ. Well, at least she is nice. Stressed out, Yun violently blasts a wave of ice mana at a training dummy. Spoiler alert, the thing does not even flinch. She groans that nothing works no matter how hard she tries. Then Kim abruptly swaggers in, claiming her ice shapes are flimsy. He casually roasts her. The ice is lukewarm, her aim is trash, and her magical basics are completely missing. Internally, he sweats, realizing he is totally at fault here. Originally, thanks to Lee's dungeon advice, Yoon would have skyrocketed to rank 6 by now. But since he stole that spotlight, she lost her chance and her stats flatlined. Kim tells her she might be confused. But if they team up, he promises to carry her progress. He desperately needs to fix her character arc. But Yoon just glares, pegging him as a classic creep. The kind who negs girls to force compliance. All talk, zero combat skills. Kim simply sighs at the ridiculous accusation. Honestly, maybe she is throwing a tantrum because his roast was perfectly accurate. Furious, Yoon stomps away, declaring she thought he was a cool guy but was dead wrong. Our hero instantly regrets his bluntness and apologizes. Annoyed, the girl decides to settle this with violence. Time to see if the school's worst student can actually throw hands. Thrilled, the outsider celebrates his successful bait and accepts the duel. Yoon instantly spawns a frosty magic circle behind him, declaring that playtime has started. A barrage of jagged ice spikes erupts everywhere. Kim dodges quickly, noticing that when she gets serious, the intensity of her magic skyrockets. He praises her mid-battle but notes her attack pattern is too predictable. She is blindly forcing the ice into reality, making her stiffen up. He offers to show her a better approach, raising his bare hands. Triggered, she fires a pinpoint maximum power ice blast straight at him. A huge freezing explosion detonates. Luckily, Kim dodges. Yun realizes she finally cast a useful spell, something impossible during her endless boring practice sessions. A giant glacier wall forms and our smug mage lands gracefully on the top of it. He chuckles internally. To unlock their true potential, mages just need the perfect trigger. And as expected, provoking her was the perfect answer. Yun scoffs, asking how he plans to win. If he just keeps running, maybe he doesn't actually want to team up. Kim smirks, lecturing that all noob elemental mages share one glaring weakness. Suddenly he dashes forward at a frankly terrifying speed. Once the gap is closed, shutting them down is child's play. He blasts her with a condensed mana orb. Yun desperately falls backward to block. The overwhelming power is totally obvious, but the outsider instantly cancels it out. He casually smiles, calling it a good fight. Left on the floor, Yun angrily pouts over her loss. She finally caves. Maybe this supposed slacker really is a magic guru. Kim smoothly offers his hand. You just lack the right manual, he smirks. Your talent was just playing hide and seek. Flashing a heroic smile, he promises to guide her. But inwardly, he's totally using her to level up. A firm handshake. And the devilish pact is sealed. Yun squints suspiciously. I'll trust you this one time, she warns. So my new master better deliver. Don't make me regret this. Boom Trust, level 1. Unlocked. She's officially on the Kim train. But her first brutal quest. Welcome to Attribute Adaptation Hell. He casually tosses her a freezing ice cube. Listen closely. He lectures. Magic is all about vibe checking your element. That decides your actual firepower. If you don't sync with your attribute, your magic will always be hot garbage. Basically, 0 adaptation means 0 gains, no matter how hard you grind. Yun stares at the ice block. Wait. Freezing my hands off counts as actual training. She's never heard of this bizarre method. Her brain completely short-circuits. Her mind literally buffers at the absurdity. But Professor Kim drops the absolute truth bomb. Feeling the element directly. It's the ultimate cheat code for fast growth. Your body learns way faster than your brain. Meanwhile, under the creepy moonlight, Cheon stands ominously, in a literal graveyard of fresh corpses. Is the villain squad assembled? The demon boss asks. Right on cue, every active fiend is creeping outside the academy walls. Total horror movie vibes. Time to hunt down this legendary prophecy kid. The grand infiltration is set for next week. Why? Because their shady inside rat tipped them off. Exam week means garbage security, the rat promised. One demon cackles, showtime baby. But another lackey nervously asks about their backup request to Rion. Cheon coldly brushes it off. Rion left us on red. The demon lord gave him a juicier side quest. Suddenly, a female demon loses her absolute mind. Are you insane? She shrieks. 4 measly B-rank losers can't assassinate the chosen one, but her cocky coworker just rolls his glowing red eyes. Relax, drama queen. It's just one puny human student. She completely snaps back. Trash security or not, the exam area will be swarming with pro guilds. Guild scouts will be everywhere. Do you honestly think our mediocre squad can body them all? Cheon steps up, oozing that final boss energy. Simple, the boss smirks. We just kidnapped the annoying extras. He suddenly summons a massive, terrifying demonic barrier. The sheer dark aura is suffocating. Go absolutely nuts, he orders. I'll cover your mess. The prophecy brat bites the dust today, cutting back to Yun's icy torture session. Kim goes full Yoda. First the vibe, then the shape. Engrave that brain freeze feeling into your soul and visualize. Miraculously, she sculpts a flawless, frosty snowflake. In a flash, that delicate snow transforms into a lethal, razor-sharp ice spear. She literally hops with joy. I did it. My very own magic weapon. Even a random eavesdropper is totally shell-shocked by her insane 3-day glow-up. Meanwhile, Yun glares at Kim with absolute devotion. She's officially hooked. Ding S. Wheat 1,500 points hit Kim's account. She passionately pledges to follow his every command. He sweats a little. Okay, slightly extreme, but she immediately begs for more ice. Kim knows her hands must be screaming in agony. Yet, this brutal, frosty torture is the only way she'll level up. She has to become strong enough to partner with the legendary Lee Jun. From the bushes, a nosy bystander spies on the icy chaos, completely horrified. What in the actual heck, they gasp. This looks like straight-up abuse. Magic school bullying is a massive cancelable offense. This definitely requires a teacher. Just as she's about to snitch, a creepy shadow looms behind her. Isn't youth just magnificent? A voice purrs. Watching the talented prodigy suffer. The spy jumps, Miss Lee, that boy is torturing her. But the teacher just chuckles. Chill out. It's hardcore attribute adaptation. I've been bringing popcorn since day one. Yun's mana control skyrocketed insanely fast, she praises. It's honestly scary. But you know what's even crazier? Her glasses flash like a true anime sensei. That so-called loser student instantly diagnosed her magical blockage and effortlessly fixed her. The spy's jaw hits the floor. Wait, you mean Kim? Miss Lee nods wisely. She's honestly shocked this random extra even knew the school's biggest flunky. Usually, people only worship the top-ranked nerds. Sun Woo is hiding some terrifying potential, the teacher smirks. You better memorize his name. But the girl immediately scoffs, completely refusing to believe the hype. He's literally dead last on the leaderboards. If he's busy playing tutor, when is he going to fix his own garbage grades? The teacher just smiles mysteriously. Let's see if he survives the exams first. Meanwhile, our so-called genius is currently having a massive financial crisis. He just spotted the holy grail of items. A 30-kilogram dimensional backpack on a flash sale. But the timer says 5 days. This magical cheat item lets you yank weapons out of thin air, perfect for epic battles or just hoarding snacks. But the price tag is a devastating 20,000 points, and his broke wallet only holds 8,500. Why do legendary sales only pop up when you're dead broke? Our favorite scammer mage starts sweating bullets. He desperately needs a massive cash injection fast. 11,500 points in 5 days. Mission impossible. Suddenly, ding. A terrifying summons from Miss Lee to the teacher's office before homeroom. Walk of shame time. Inside, the icy rank 2 Yua Ra, the arrogant rank 5 Park In Won, and dead last Kim stand together. Wait, a special manifestation class. It's a VIP-only advanced class for absolute monsters, completely ignoring grades. Kim's brain instantly does the math. The main hero is totally in this class. If he joins, he can leech off the protagonist all day. But the blonde snob, rank 5 Park, immediately throws a massive, spoiled tantrum. I refuse to breathe the same air as this trash. The elite rich kid is absolutely furious about sharing oxygen with the academy's biggest loser. He tries to drag the silver-haired queen into his drama. Back me up here. She literally glares daggers at him. I seriously couldn't care less. Stay in your lane. Worry about your own tragic life, she roasts him. Park fumes internally, thinking, this is exactly why you're single. Then the teacher turns her deadly gaze to Kim. Got anything to say to the haters? She asks. Kim just smirks like a total Chad. If my trash rank offends him, I'll just steal a better one. Miss Lee grins like a proud shark. Prove it, tough guy. Score top 80 in the exams or you're out. Challenge accepted. Later, Kim is bouncing off the walls. He reassures Yun. If they stick to the master plan, they are golden. The second-year exam is a tag team brawl. You grab a buddy and bash a massive green giant. Hit the hidden weak spots inside its gross, squishy body, and it drops instantly. But those spots constantly shift, like a rigged carnival game. So most kids just aim to survive the timer. But the absolute legends, they actually slay the beast. The crowd goes absolutely wild, hyping up the golden boy Lee Seo-jun. His partner is no slouch either. But step aside, elites. It is time for the underdogs to steal the spotlight. Our favorite outsider tells Yoon to pave the way, and sprints like a madman. The Ice Queen instantly freezes the arena, summoning a massive, unbreakable glacier. Our boy vaults over it, sticking a superhero landing on the frost with enchanted boots. The peanut gallery immediately starts whispering. Isn't that the clown from the ranking test? They are totally betting his mana pool runs dry again. 254 sets of eyes are judging Kim. Jackpot. That is a sweet 1,000 points, and everyone expects a massive fail. But wait. The outsider system perk triggers. This time our protagonist refuses to be the punchline. He unleashes an absolutely savage mana strike, sniping the giant dead center in its shifting weak spot. Boom. One shot. And Kim is already charging up round 2. The furious Green Hulk bulldozes toward him at max speed. Talk about terrifying. Our boy smirks, thinking this is a total cakewalk. But suddenly, he spots the villainous Cheon Hae in the bleachers. Talk about terrible timing. Distracted Kim blindfires his mana bolt anyway. It completely whiffs the head, grazing the monster right in the shoulder. Cue the brutal trash talk from the crowd. But Kim does not care about the haters. His brain is screaming because the ultimate mastermind is crashing the exam. He is definitely plotting a massive siege, but the bad guys were not scheduled to invade until 4 o'clock. Yun screams at Kim to wake up, just as the raging giant drops a crater-making punch that shatters the earth and sends our hero flying. The Ice Queen does not hesitate, unleashing a barrage of deadly frost spears. Bullseye. They pierce the beast and lock it in ice. Yun demands Kim pull his head out of the clouds, dragging his dazed butt off the floor. But the monster simply shatters the ice, rearing up for a killer blow. Our guy just sighs, says Move, and nukes the giant with an earth-shattering mana cannon. They are both totally gasping for air. But then pure silence. The entire stadium is frozen in shock. Both giants are obliterated. The gossip completely flips. The supposed trash-tier student just flexed a monstrous power level. Even the stoic principal nods in absolute approval from the VIP box. Nobody expected this glorious underdog smackdown. Plus, his frosty partner was the perfect combat support. Overjoyed, Yun tackles Kim in a huge hug. She is glowing. But our hero is sweating bullets. 582 people just memorized his face. That is 3,000 points plus the B-class achievement bonus for another 2 grand. Ding, ding, ding. System points are raining from the sky. But he could not care less. The precious plotline is completely derailing. His meddling is literally rewriting the fabric of fate. If the script changes his grand plan to save, the academy might totally flop. They snagged second place, but Yun immediately notices Kim looking sick. He is drenched in cold sweat. He plays it off, muttering about needing a nap. He tells her to hit the training grounds later for a serious chat. Panic flashes in Yun's eyes. Did she screw up their combo attack? Nope. He softly shuts that down. He calls her performance absolutely flawless, making her beam. They say their goodbyes, and she sweetly offers him a day off from practice. But Kim's brain is spinning. If the butterfly effect is real, he must calculate the damage to the timeline immediately. If the main plot survived, the golden boy should be right around the corner. Bingo. There is the genius drowning in a sea of fanboys. Greedy scouts are literally begging the prodigy to join their top-tier guilds. The thirst is real, but Lee politely counters. He is only 18 and legally cannot sign his soul away yet. That does not stop them from aggressively shoving premium business cards up his nose. Spectators literally abandon their own lives just to drool over his exam results. Suddenly, a savior parts the thirsty crowd. It is our boy Kim hollering that scary Mr. Jang wants a word about his grades. The peanut gallery gasps. Wait, isn't that the legendary trash-tier student who somehow popped off today? His underdog arc is finally starting. Grateful for the excuse, Lee bolts, yelling that his teacher needs him. The guild vultures groan in sheer agony. They were this close to a jackpot. Meanwhile, from the shadows, Agent Jang praises the Golden Boy's flawless combat. But the grumpy Special Forces commander Kim Duk just scoffs, calling it barely passable. The veteran with the gnarly scar smirks. Of course the kid is a magical nuke. He is the famous President Kim's personal disciple. But the hard-to-please commander argues the kid lacks raw, bloody battlefield experience. Zhang just laughs, knowing the boss secretly wants to recruit the genius anyway. Duke demands to know why this kid lives rent-free in his head. The scarred vet drops a truth bomb. It is all about that tragic demon raid back at the Han River. He is still agonizing over it, betting that if Lee had been their firepower, victory would have been an absolute joke. The boring stuff. Meanwhile, the commander asks about Kim's vibe. The verdict. The kid's combat instincts are terrifying. It is crazy to think he was labeled trash. That was not just instinct. He sniped the enemy's weak point in seconds. That is the kind of hardcore skill, built through endless bloody battles. Jung chuckles. Where exactly does an 18-year-old even get that kind of crazy battle experience? Then again, that friend Lee hyped up. The one practically twinning with the legendary mage Kim Jin-woo. Yeah, he actually pulled off compressed materialization for a rookie that is completely absurd. The squad leader mentally stamps his name on the VIP list. Meanwhile, Lee happily throws an arm around our hero, thanking him for the rescue mission. But why drag him into this massive crowd? Kim casually shrugs. Just doing some early scouting for next year's exam. Yellow Eyes shudders. He absolutely refuses to get mobbed by those annoying fanboys again. But our clever main character promises they are safely hidden away. Then he casually drops the bomb. Why is Lee running away? From the glorious #1 rank in school, Lee instantly avoids eye contact. He awkwardly deflects, whispering that they should just shut up and watch so they do not get busted. Kim's mind races. The inevitable demon ambush kicks off right here in the third-year arena. It is the perfect spot for enemy infiltrators to mingle. The exact launch time. Total mystery. But he has to anchor Lee here. while he hunts down Chunhee all by himself. It is the easiest cheat code to babysit the child of prophecy. So he casually asks his buddy if any weird drama followed the test. Lee scoffs. Everyone wants to recruit him. It is basically a daily annoyance. Completely fine. Our regressor breathes a sigh of relief. The original plotline is holding steady. Thank the heavens. Suddenly, the epic duel kicks off below. A shadowy figure whispers. The mercenaries have breached the third-year arena. Right on schedule. Qian nervously checks the villainous progress. Hidden monsters check. Summoning circles plastered in every single blind spot of this precious academy. But knowing Jinan's intense social anxiety around humans, they tucked the guy away in a totally isolated corner. The demon smirks, throwing praise at Yang Hyun. She smoothly credits his dark assistance. The waiting game is over. The brutal hunt for the child of prophecy begins now. Down in the arena, a challenger surrenders. Kim Chang-hyen claims absolute victory, dripping with hype. Lee geeks out, absorbing every detail. Chang's magic manifestation was flashy, and Parkman's techniques were terrifyingly sharp. Meanwhile, our hero gives zero craps about the fight. His radar is frantically pinging the crowd. For Chunhee, Lee spots his distraction. Kim plays it off, saying he is just scanning for annoying corporate headhunters. Yellow Eyes proudly beams. Their boy has leveled up like crazy since last semester. That first exam completely shattered everyone's expectations. What secret hellish training did he undergo? But suddenly our hero feels a spine-chilling shift. The world violently bleeds purple, a demonic barrier. Panic strikes him. This definitely was not in the original timeline. Chaos erupts. Terrified students scream for their instructors. Total panic sets in as nobody recognizes this magical catastrophe. A strategically planted suitcase sits ominously in the corner. Crammed with unstable monostones, they simultaneously detonate in a catastrophic shockwave. High above the magical dome, glowing red demonic eyes spectate the carnage. Chan barks the order to slaughter. Vicious goblins swarm out of nowhere, hunting fresh student meat. Blaring sirens echo as the loudspeakers scream about a monster invasion inside the academy. Evacuation to the safe zone is mandatory, but there is a massive glitch. The elite teachers and heavy-hitting mages are entirely locked inside the demonic cage. Rescue is cancelled. The child of prophecy is getting forced out of hiding. Down below, the special forces are already swinging, desperately shielding the helpless students. Jong and Deke brought the heat. Cheon completely underestimated this plot twist. They came for popcorn and a tournament, but now they are butchering a monster horde on frontline duty. The yellow-eyed kid is flattered. Did the special ops show up just for his match? Wait, is that Commander Dio's elite squad? A frantic teacher promises salvation as soon as the barrier drops. Just stay calm. Kim calculates the odds. With those absolute powerhouses on the field, they can totally flip this death game around. But here is the million-dollar question. How the heck do you shatter a demon wall? Panicked crowds scream for magical backup. Hindsight is 2020 outside the arena. The tactical support instructor, Kim Yoon, grimly announces the brutal math. To crack this demonic seal, they need another A-rank support mage. But looking around, the bench is completely empty. Rare talents like that are practically unicorns. But the instructor barks at them to keep their eyes peeled, because this survival game will last 30 agonizing minutes. Someone immediately whines. How are two measly special agents supposed to protect us for 30 minutes? Kim internally groans. That is literally impossible. Qian possesses world-class barrier magic. Honestly, in the original plotline, without that sneaky ambush, Lee would have been totally wiped out. So Kim sighs, cracking his knuckles. Looks like the side character has to carry. Suddenly, Yang Young crashes the party, flashing her A-rank support badge. She sweet-talks the crowd, promising to effortlessly save the day. Kim sweats bullets, screaming that the cute girl is actually a demon. Would just make him look like a total lunatic instead of a hero. Flashing a suspicious smile, the disguised demon asks for volunteers. The gullible mob instantly relaxes, completely unaware that hidden we know it is bad news. Lee wipes his sweat, thinking the nightmare is over, but Kim instantly shuts that down. He snatches his buddy by the arm and drags him away. Meanwhile, the instructor senses major bad vibes. While she props up the shield on one side, the other totally collapses. The enemy is hitting the gym and beefing up. Chan sees Kim Yoon sniffing out the truth, so he decides to play a little distraction game. Back on the battlefield, the two elite agents are absolutely sweeping the goblin trash, but a few sneaky ones pivot, leaping straight for Yang's neck. But in a twist of crazy luck, a massive spear completely obliterates the monster. It is a flawless strike from Dio, who checks on her. Smiling sweetly, Yang turns on the fake tears, thanking her knight in shining armor. The clueless leader actually thinks she is an ally. Without breaking a sweat, he spins and deletes a few more green weirdos. Zhang screams that his boss nearly bit the dust. The other agent snaps back that he would quit his job if that ever happened. They are fighting like absolute madmen, but the horde keeps multiplying. The rookie agent even swears on his pride to protect Yang, and this two-faced demon lady just bats her eyelashes, secretly sabotaging everyone. Miles away from the chaos, Lee demands to know why Kim kidnapped him. The answer: it is empty, and Kim is about to fix the magic shield himself. The protagonist questions the guys fighting on the front lines, but our hero finally drops the ultimate lore bomb. Lee's jaw hits the floor upon learning Yang is a total fraud. He wants to snitch immediately, but Kim points out their total lack of receipts. Lee insists Kim can just show off his crazy skills since he knows barrier magic, but Kim sighs. Nobody believes a nobody, so here is the master plan. Once the overpowered hero fixes the shield, Lee will take all the glory. Naturally, the crowd will swallow the story whole if a rank A genius drops the mic instead of some random student. Still skeptical, Lee challenges him to prove it. Time for a test drive. Kim slaps his hands onto the magic circle. Boom, outsider cheat codes activated. The complex runes instantly decode, and the giant shield hums back to life. Elsewhere, Yang is absolutely losing her mind over her master plan crumbling. The overpowered kid dusts his hands like it was child's play, shooing his buddy away to handle the mess. But Lee is dying to know. Why stay in the shadows? Getting famous for this would be a total flex. The hero just shrugs. Just zip your lips and keep it hidden. Meanwhile, the villain boss is roasting Yang for being utterly useless at holding the lock. The demon lady is sweating bullets, wondering what kind of monster broke her double-layered trap. Zhang praises the squad and declares the cleanup crew is taking over. Zero hesitation. The teachers launch a brutal counterattack on the mob. The professor flexes some serious magical muscle, and Miss Lee proves she is an absolute menace. She summons crackling golden lightning, deep-frying a goblin on the spot. A guy claps, mind-blown by the fireworks. And the lady smirks, noting his firepower is still top tier. Zhang tips his hat, grateful they scrubbed the zone so quickly. But Dio is not fooled. The puppet master is lurking in the shadows, and they need to hunt them down. Eyes blazing Kim Yoon claims ignorance on the boss, but she definitely smells a rat. In a flash, she grabs Yang by the collar, aggressively demanding to know her alibi during the blackout. The crowd tries to pull the furious instructor back, but she screams that this snake might be wearing human skin. The demon spy goes full drama queen, sobbing about being bullied after trying to help. Unlucky for her, everyone just glares with massive side-eye. Zhang whispers to his boss, asking if they should step into this spicy drama, but the boss prefers to enjoy the show for now. Cornered Yang cooks up a lame excuse about syncing with the teacher's wild magic. The crew realizes that every time they hammered the barrier, the resistance doubled in strength. Enter Lee, with perfect timing, exposing that Yang was actually at the third-year arena. A teacher questions his detective skills, and Lee casually claims he sensed a glitch in the magical matrix. He spouts some nerdy barrier theory to cover his tracks. He absolutely despises capping, but a hero has to do what a hero has to do. The crowd suddenly connects the dots. The math is definitely not mathing. There was indeed a real Yang in the support crew. Busted, the panic-stricken fake telepathically begs her boss for a lifeline. Furious, he orders her to go out with a bang. The two undercover hunters catch the villainous scent and launch a ruthless assault. They land a picture-perfect combo, but the smoke clears to reveal a rank, a threat. Talk about a difficulty spike. Meanwhile, Yang flips the script to Plan B for failing the mission. The unlucky extras around her suddenly get possessed, mutating into absolute steroid monsters. She commands her new meat shields to take everyone down with her. She lunges for Lee's throat, but he effortlessly parries the hit, shutting down her temper tantrum permanently. The mage smirks, telling her she picked the wrong neighborhood. The mob of demons instantly kisses the dirt, utterly obliterated. Bro, this is an elite magic academy. Sweating pure relief, Lee salutes the leader for saving his skin. It's been a whole year, Kim grins. The old-timer nods impressed. The brat actually became a decent mage, plus he adds, he can grab his demon-slaying bounty later. But our boy insists Kim takes the cash. After all, Kim did the real heavy lifting. He deserves the credit, but suddenly boom, a massive explosion shakes the earth. Looks like the so-called child of prophecy is in trouble. You, second-year rank 2. How pathetic, a menacing figure sneers. Is this weakling really the legendary genius? Meant to rival Leo Jun? Or are you just holding back because you're babysitting dead weight? Yun flashes back to their training session. When those ugly monsters crashed the party, she boldly stepped up to fight. But classic Tsundere Yu just barked, "Stay out of my way, just run, I've got this." Back in reality, the demon mocks her. "Is that your best?" he laughs. She isn't even his real target. With overwhelming brute strength, the ugly beast grabs Yu, right by the throat. He drools over her overflowing magical energy like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Meanwhile, our poor, genius girl is literally suffocating. Bam! A surprise ice barrage blasts the demon's back. "Let her go, you creep," Yoon screams. "Your fight is with me." Yu drops to the dirt completely out cold. "Ah, such touching friendship," the beast chuckles. "But what can a weakling like you actually do?" Yoon is terrified. She knows she's totally outmatched. Still ditching her friend is absolutely not an option. She channels every last drop of her magic. Shockingly, it scorches the demon and the wounds aren't healing at all. Yoon panics. That wasn't ice magic, and her mana tank is hitting zero fast. The Child of Prophecy, the ultimate demon-destroying weapon, has finally been found. The beast grins, ready to annihilate her on the spot. But hey, not on our watch. The Prophecy Child is kind of a big deal. Kim smirks, firing up the heart of nature. The only one getting wiped out today is you, ugly. The demon furiously tells the brat to back off, blasting an insanely lethal beam of dark purple energy. But nope, Kim's trusty bracelet pops a spell shield, eating the attack completely. Our guy doesn't hesitate. He spams a ridiculous barrage of mana blasts, pounding the demon from every single angle. The monster drops to his knees, totally mind-blown by the kid's endless mana pool. "I'm way more experienced than I look, buddy," our hero winks. The demon furiously roars. "If I die, she's coming with me." He lunges at the girls, but Kim is already steps ahead. Summoning his power sphere, the barrier completely blocks the attack, and the demon dramatically turns into extra crispy ashes. Ding, a glowing window pops up. B-class villain deleted. Causality boosted by 0.4. Achievement unlocked, absolute savior. And a sweet 3,000 points gained. Meanwhile, Kim realizes Yoon awakened way too early, but hey, she crushed it, naturally. Since the demons know their ultimate enemy is born, they'll definitely keep swarming the academy. Looks like Yoon Lee. And you seriously need to level up. Kim is just relieved nobody died today. The next day, academy gossip is wild. Rumor says Lee Yu and two randoms heroically slayed a demon. But grumpy Yu is sitting there feeling totally pathetic, getting treated like some grand hero when she literally took a nap mid-fight. Yoon peeks over. "What are you grumbling about?" Yu just snaps. "Go back to sleep, idiot." Yoon smiles, insisting she only survived because Yu bravely protected her from the scary guy. "I passed out like a total loser." Yu groans. It's barely a scratch, yet the academy is throwing a massive pity party over it. Yoon gently tells her to rest up. The red-eyed tsundere knows Yoon faced the demon completely alone, while she was snoozing. "Why didn't you just run away?" Yu demands. "We aren't even friends. Why throw your life away?" "For me," Yoon just laughs softly. "Anyone would do the same. Besides, someone once reached out to save me when I was completely alone in the dark. I just want to be a cool hero like them." Ever since choosing that path, she finally found the guts to fight back. "So when things get tough, just ask for help, okay?" She smiles brightly. But Yu flinches. Tragic flashback time. A blazing inferno. Desperate figures, her parents screaming at her to grab the little girl and run. They were torn apart by the flames. Trembling from the trauma, stubborn Yu mutters, "I don't need anyone's charity." Yoon just sighs. "At least try saying thank you, tough guy." Yoon adds that without Kim's epic rescue, they'd both be ghosting the mortal realm right now. "Wait, what?" Yu blinks in confusion. "Let him explain it." Yoon winks. Right on cue, a smiling Kim casually strolls in. "You girls alive." Yu immediately gets defensive. "Why are you here?" He chuckles. "Just playing delivery boy." He drops a casual 5,000,001 bounty on her lap. Yu is totally bewildered. Wait, Kim secured the actual kill steal. But Kim smoothly lies. "Hey, thanks to you two, the boss was basically at 1 HP. I just tapped him." Yu turns totally red. Taking unearned cash is a massive blow to her pride. "Fine, we can split the loot." She stammers. Blushing furiously, she finally mutters, "Thanks for the carry." Kim planned to use Yoon to win Yu over, but hey, mission accomplished. Early ding target interest reached level 1. 2,000 points scored. The blonde teases her for acting like a total tsundere, because she is just too proud to admit she is embarrassed. Meanwhile, Kim finally hoards enough points to secure the legendary dimensional backpack. But Yu is pacing the hallway like a nervous wreck, cursing Kim for being a total liar. That demon was not almost dead when she passed out. Kim totally obliterated it solo. She realizes he is not some weak support class. He is an all-rounder genius who breaks the rules. Plus, Yoon's insane explosive powers. Yeah, totally, Kim's doing. Why would an overpowered monster hide his true strength like a high school extra? Must be a tragic backstory with the demons, right? Meanwhile, Kim casually asks Yoon if she leaked his secret. She shakes her head. Too much fame means annoying training sessions. But deep down, her true goal is to crush demons with her own two hands. Thanks to Kim, she awakened a whole month early. Sure, she is a rookie, but this massive power jump is crucial for the epic war against the Demon King. Our system-crashing hero just secured a top-tier teammate. Kim promises to draft a master plan, but Yoon squints suspiciously. When the barrier triggered, he sprinted straight to her arena. Was he worried Kim has been hard carrying her through the exams and the demon ambush? Yoon's imagination is running wild, making our hero sweat bullets. He scrambles to deny the romance flags, the exam carry. Just a tactical investment, the ambush. He just chased the biggest explosion. Instantly, the mood drops. Yoon looks incredibly awkward. Kim completely misses the cue. Blushing furiously, she claims it was just a joke. Classic, clueless protagonist. Still, a hero has to stay focused. He pivots back to creating the ultimate training schedule. To cover up her embarrassment, Yoon suddenly slaps 7.5 million won on the table. A premium fee for exclusive private lessons. Kim grins, vowing to forge her into a weapon, but realizes these rich kids have absolutely zero concept of money. Training starts tomorrow. Suddenly, his phone buzzes with a massive 15 million won deposit. Why is everyone aggressively throwing cash at him? Turns out the mega transfer came from Lee. By clearing the exams, Kim crushed Professor Yang's impossible conditions. Sitting at rank 72, he successfully infiltrated the elite special talents class. The rankings drop. Third-year absolute boss is Kim Sang-yoon. Fourth is the arrogant Park. First-year prodigy Cho Yoon. And glaring right beside her in second place is Yu. She glares at our hero like a bitter rival. But Kim just smirks, knowing this front-row seat makes hijacking future plotlines incredibly easy. Enter the trash-talking duo Park and Won. They sneer, claiming Kim just kill-stole the demon and does not belong here. But the system does not lie. Kim passed fairly, and no one can kick him out. The blonde bully threatens physical eviction. Luckily, Lee snaps and yells to cut the nonsense. Park whines that Kim is tanking the elite class average with his 22-second clear time. Yu instantly jumps to his defense, roasting Park by saying Kim outclasses him in everything else. She tells the bully to shut his mouth before he embarrasses himself. Park laughs, mocking the top-tier girl for defending a complete loser. Ignoring all logic, Park throws a devastating haymaker right at our hero's face, but Kim moves like lightning. He catches the fist effortlessly. Park freezes sweating as Kim's iron-crushing grip shatters his confidence. Enraged, the blonde punk screams an insult and ignites his explosive aura, but suddenly justice drops from the ceiling. A brutal flying kick slams into the bully's ribs, launching him violently down the stairs. The whole class wonders if Park just died. Kim chuckles, realizing the original plot is unfolding perfectly. The legendary kicker is Jang, who praises Kim's exam performance. Then, mysterious agents storm the classroom. While students panic over Park's lifeless body, the scarred agent scratches his head, wondering if he kicked too hard. Flashback. This elite operative was initially annoyed about babysitting a high school, but intelligence confirmed demons are hiding inside. Jang noted that demons are usually solo players unless the Demon King issues a command. A coordinated infiltration of this heavily fortified academy. Suspicious. There is definitely a traitor among them. His secret mission: partner with the academy, hunt the demons, and execute the rat. Back in the present, he introduces himself as a Special Forces elite from the Hunter Association. A student asks if they are learning anti-terrorism. Jang smirks, roasting the rich kids by saying scared little chickens belong far away from real combat. Instead, he will throw them straight into a monster-infested hotspot. It is highly dangerous. See a threat, run and report it. But our all-knowing hero just laughs internally. He knows this so-called deadly zone is actually a secret training ground for the elites. Plus, there is a fully cleared dungeon waiting just for them to exploit. Magic cameras are hunting for suspects. Since the special class enjoys way more freedom, the tricky infiltrator is definitely hiding among them. Jang is a total bloodhound. He knows a demon is lurking. But Kim has a bigger headache. His only priority is pushing Lee to grab that juicy S-class loot on the hidden floor. Plus, he needs to wingman for Choi, who is stuck with the protagonist for the exam. Teams are finally assembled, and the chaotic meat grinder begins. Kim nods to himself. Time to stick to the original script. Or so he thought. Just breathing in this universe is throwing a massive wrench into the plot, because against all logical odds, Choi gets strapped to Kim. She glares at him, utterly baffled that he looks so ridiculously annoyed to be teamed up with the Academy idol. Guys would literally sell their souls to stand near her, yet Kim acts like he stepped in gum. Honestly, he is the one dying inside. He aggressively points forward, yelling at them to march. Nearby, a random extra cries about wanting a sweet date too. Meanwhile, Lee Ko-jun is stuck with Yu-ara. That clueless fool is hopelessly down bad for Choi, the golden child of an elite magic dynasty. She is a walking cheat code. But when Lee nervously mutters about another rich girl right next to him, Yu absolutely explodes. The whimpering sidekick quickly stammers, that she is way different from the red-eyed terror. Over in Team Awkward, Shin Young-jun and Jian-meni silently trudge through the creepy woods. Honestly, their painfully silent tension is a blessing in disguise. Back to our odd couple. Kim acted super chummy with Lee, even though the protagonist used to be the ultimate academy trash. Now they are both in the special class. Totally suspicious. Choi squints at Kim, clearly trying to scan his soul. Kim sweats under her intense laser gaze. Faking enthusiasm, he wildly points at a random bush, shouting about a fake clue. They absolutely need to check it out. The Ice Queen knows he is scheming, but she is not falling for his cheap tricks. She coldly orders them to cooperate, while Kim throws her a deeply skeptical side-eye. Oh, he recognizes that fake corporate smile. That is a pure plotting something shady face. Right now, her only life mission is reeling in the overpowered Lee to boost her own stock price. So Kim enthusiastically shoos them toward danger, desperately trying to glue her to the protagonist and force the damn story back on the rails. But instead, Choi drops a bombshell, purring that Kim gets infinitely more fascinating every day. The guy went from rock-bottom trash to a rising powerhouse. Still, she warns, bulldozing into the elite class might paint a massive target on his back. Flexing too hard breeds nasty enemies. Wealth, genius, unmatched beauty. The whole world envies Choi's perfect golden spoon life. But her reality is pitch black. She is basically a prisoner, drowning in the psychotic obsession of meeting her family's impossible, suffocating standards. Her angelic kindness, a total scam, a calculated business move to manipulate pawns and skyrocket her social net worth. That flawless mask is just a lonely, desperate survival tactic in the vicious snake pit of high society. Blinking in pure confusion, Kim asks about these supposed enemies. Choi smirks, reminding him of his grand entrance. Nobody is screaming it, but aside from the arrogant Park, plenty of rich snobs are foaming at the mouth over his promotion. Kim just shrugs it off. Let them hate. He is chasing a massive life goal inside this chaotic elite class. Hearing this, Choi is suddenly haunted by her father's cold voice, dictating every second of her scripted existence. She is nothing but a nodding puppet. Shaking it off, she admits his drive is charming, but questions what a peasant could possibly loot from the elites. Suddenly, a terrifying wave of murderous intent crashes into Kim. He viciously shoves Choi out of the danger zone. Mana erupts from his fingertips. A blazing spear of hellfire incinerates the ground where they just stood. A textbook ambush. Kim scoffs. Are you still throwing pathetic tantrums? The blonde snob Park steps out, generously offering one final warning. Beg for mercy. Act like a dog, and survive the academy. Kim smirks like a true menace. And if I say no, veins bulging, the furious blonde screams about absolute destruction, charging a lethal strike with zero hesitation. Meanwhile, invisible magic cameras slurp up the drama. Miles away, Yu flexes his aura, while the strike force hits a massive brick wall. Meet Becky Jin, a hardened special forces mage, rolling her eyes at the ridiculous rumor of a demon crashing the school exam. Jang barks for a status report. She lazily replies that it is just dumb students, playing tag with tutorial mobs. He orders her to stay on high alert. Suddenly, the monitor flashes. Becky spots Park and Kim's explosive deathmatch. In the arena, Kim realizes this spoiled brat casts magic at warp speed. Rank 5 is no joke, but if our main character drags this fight out, it will completely derail his master plan. Plan time. Choi charges an epic mana spell. She screams at these idiots to take their brawl outside. You are embarrassing the whole academy, she yells. Plus, she tells Park to ditch his massive inferiority complex. Cue the raging blonde. He thinks everyone loves his rival, so he throws a floor-smashing tantrum. Watching this circus, Agent Beck spots a busted magic circle. Jang stands up sweating. We promised 0 casualties. She snaps back that this dumb schoolyard scrap is ruining their mission. He just orders her to keep monitoring screens. Call me if it drops. The troublemakers are Park and Kim, the usual suspects, plus elite bloodline Choi. Speaking of Choi, she throws up a massive magic barrier, trying to baby-proof the explosive situation. But suddenly, the arrogant brat screams that Kim should have stayed a pathetic clown. How dare a bottom feeder challenge his absolute superiority? Then the blonde extra unleashes a blazing fire strike. The girl is pushed to her absolute limit, and naturally, an audience is lurking in the shadows. Kim instantly summons a barrier spell, easily deflecting the flames. He steps up ready to trash the trash. In his past life, he witnessed the cruel nightmares Park inflicted upon weaklings in the dark. Since this guy is just a third-rate extra, stepping on him will not break the main plot. After all, this blazing idiot only exists in the prologue. He is literally irrelevant later. Channeling the heart of nature. Kim fires off a devastating barrage of pure mana bolts. Completely blindsided, Park scrambles like a panicked rat. Kim coldly declares that if the brat wants a fight, he should face him one-on-one, instead of dragging innocent bystanders into his pathetic temper tantrum. Grabbing the blonde extra by the hair, Kim mercilessly slams his face into the solid dirt. Honestly, it is an absolute miracle the guy's skull did not shatter. Now trembling in pure terror, he stares as Kim readies a glowing monosphere right between his eyes. Dropping to his knees, Park hysterically sobs apologies, swearing to never cross paths again. Choi watches, thinking this dramatic execution is a hilarious waste of good magical energy. She knows our main character would not actually obliterate him. Tightening his grip on the loser's hair, Kim orders him to vanish from his sight. He warns that if their paths ever cross again, the ending will be incredibly bloody. Naturally, the coward vigorously nods. He pathetically begs them to keep his humiliating defeat a secret. Smiling like a true villain, Kim barks at him to get out of his sight. Internally, our hero breathes a massive sigh of relief that his bluff worked. Right on cue, Beck spots the terrified student sprinting out of the combat zone. John locks onto the target and draws his gleaming blade. From this exact moment, that runaway extra has the Special Forces' undivided attention. Park sprints like a madman, screaming that Kim is trying to murder him. But looking back, he realizes some terrifying older hunter is hunting him down. Meanwhile, Kim chuckles, figuring that little diversion is enough to draw the heat, without ruining the sacred timeline too much. Suddenly, Choi presses an ice-cold, magic-infused finger directly against his neck. Our guy yelps from the sudden freeze, while she sarcastically shoots back that his ego looked like it was overheating. Smirking, she points out the hilarious math. Rank 72 just absolutely demolished Rank 5. The Academy's ranking system is clearly a complete joke. Playing the humble card, our hero claims he would have been crushed if the blonde psycho had actually fought to kill. But internally, he sweats, knowing Choi is destined to fall in love with Lee. Instead, she softly thanks him. And a massive system alert pops up. Her interest level just hit 1. She confesses her first impression of him was terrible. She thought he was just an attention-seeking loser, overcompensating for his absolute lack of combat talent. But now, he feels like a totally different mysterious entity. Curious, Kim asks what her current verdict is. With a bright smile, she calls him genuinely fun. Instantly, the depressing memory of his literal clown talent flashes through his mind. She declares break time is over, but Kim's stamina bar is still flashing red. She insists they need to hunt something that actually gives good experience points. But mid-sentence, a massive shadow lunges directly at her blind spot. A terrifying, grotesquely mutated serpent strikes. Choi lets out a genuinely ear-piercing scream at the monstrous sight. Without hesitating for a microsecond, Kim ignites a deadly monosphere, wondering if the Academy seriously considers this a training dummy. But before he can throw it, a blinding slash of holy energy cleanly decapitates the beast. Choi's eyes sparkle as she looks toward the rescue. Right on script, the Golden Boy makes his epic entrance. Lee Jun, the glorious protagonist, asks if everyone is safe, sheathing his legendary blade with a totally unnecessary flourish. He claims he was just patrolling to protect the weak, though honestly, these monsters are barely a warm-up. He only rushed over because the zone was flagged as highly dangerous. Flipping her hair, Choi teases that for a so-called genius, this exam is a total walk in the park. She casually drops an invitation to join her elite family guild, promising to make him a superstar. The Golden Boy politely dodges the recruitment pitch. Meanwhile, Kim's eyes widen. The location is set. The key characters are gathered. The legendary main event is about to trigger. This is the exact moment the protagonist discovers the hidden sanctuary. Merely bringing Choi near this corrupted zone ensures destiny will magically push her right into Lee's arms. Our wingman hero just needs to give fate a little nudge. Pointing toward a shadowy cliff, he tells them to look. A mysterious cavern pulses with an eerie, magical blue aura. The dense protagonist genuinely asks what that ominous glow could be. Choi states the obvious, the energy is leaking from deep inside. Our sly hero fakes an innocent curiosity, suggesting they explore the glowing danger zone together. Stepping into the chilling darkness, Lee's gamer senses tingle. It is a legendary hidden stage. Finding a dungeon inside another dungeon is like winning the ultimate lottery. The difficulty is hellish, but the artifact drops are completely game-breaking. Kim internally cheers, thrilled that the storyline is following the exact webtoon script. He recalls this exact hidden tower floor from his past life. It only spawns when the ecosystem suffers a magical mutation. Now, the perfect scenario is set. Lee and Choi will romantically team up to slay the final boss. This epic chapter is absolutely crucial for the protagonist to secure the spotlight and loot an overpowered S-class weapon. But the real jackpot is character development. This battle forces Choi to mature and officially become his trusted companion. The overpowered duo can easily steamroll the boss by themselves. Playing his part, our hero casually suggests they clear the stage right now. But wait, Lee instantly rejects the idea. The idiot claims there are too many unknown variables and wants to call the special forces. Great. Kim's jaw drops in pure disbelief. Did the protagonist just wimp out? Desperate to save the plot, he lunges to snatch the coward's smartphone. But amidst this hilarious scuffle, Choi stands frozen by an underground spring. Her eyes lock intensely onto her glowing reflection. An ancient whisper echoes in her mind, begging her to step into the abyss. The second her fingertips brush the icy surface, a terrifying magical surge explodes. Lee gets, Kim screams her name. A creepy Class B ghost witch is trying to hijack her body. Both boys sprint madly. They yell to snap her awake, but the witch cackles. This meat suit is mine. Kim absolutely panics. The plot is totally ruined again. The creepy monster completely dissolves, pulling Choi right into a portal. Lee completely loses his mind. What just happened? Did a witch abduct her? Our hero declares an instant rescue mission, but rule follower Lee wants the magic SWAT team. Waiting means death. That beast drinks mana like a smoothie, then eats the host. They must handle this completely solo. Right here, right now, Kim gives Lee that dramatic shoulder grab. Lee realizes his peaceful school life is over. Totally serious, they dive into the portal. Meanwhile, Agent Jang wrestles the super angry blonde kid. He demands the villain's master plan. But Park is a clueless idiot, leaving the older agent utterly confused. Then why run? Park refuses to admit his embarrassing jealous tantrum. The agent cracks his knuckles, promising zero mercy. The hard way, it is Park Won, Year 2 Academy Rank 5, is locked up for suspected demon teamwork. Jang calls HQ to brag about his easy arrest, but Beck drops a massive bombshell over the comms. 3 dumb kids just wandered into the training dungeon. Jang scoffs, saying that cave is completely turned off. It is literally just rocks. But Beck screams that a deadly hidden phase suddenly booted up. Jang is completely shocked. Inside, the boys are freezing in an absolutely brutal, chaotic winter blizzard. The witch is using Choi's stolen ice mana for epic air conditioning. Kim casually tosses his shivering buddy a jacket. Stay frosty but literally warm, Kim laughs. He packed winter gear in his crazy expensive dimensional backpack. Lee is totally mind-blown. How did a broke kid afford a multi-million gold luxury bag? Kim smirks. Day trading, my friend. This coat gives a 20% frost buff. Suddenly they spot shivering Choi. She begs for a rescue. The original hero yells to hurry up and escape, asking for the exit route. But Kim, he blasts her face with a mana orb. She summons a shield. You caught on fast, buzzkill. Yep, it is the ghost witch playing dress-up. Kim's trusty killing intent radar saved his life to save her. They must defeat the boss. The witch licks her lips, praising how spicy and delicate the kid's cold mana tastes. Once I digest her, you two are dessert, Kim smirks. Undead creatures hate holy magic, making Lee the perfect counter. Lee charges in like a glowing knight. Kim provides sniper support, firing supercharged blue mana bombs from the back. They are fighting Choi's overpowered body. Year 1, Rank 1, a total beast in magic manifestation and enhancement. They can only play defensive. A deadly ice strike almost decapitates Kim, but Lee casually parries with his blade. Lee pushes forward for a massive strike, but the witch morphs her ice sword into a shield, deflecting the blow. The perfect combo is ruined. Are you pulling your punches? The witch mocks. Scared of hurting a little schoolgirl, all your attacks are completely pathetic. A terrifying machine gun volley of sharp ice daggers explodes toward Lee's face. Her switch from block to kill is stupidly fast. Plus, this snowy terrain gives her an insane home field advantage. Stray icicles zoom right at Kim. He matrix dodges the spikes, only to get boxed inside a deadly frozen cage. Checkmate, little rat sneers possessed Choi. But our boy just laughs effortlessly, breaking free and dodging the frosty barrage. Dodging the icy spam, panting Lee demands the master plan, because Kim always has some ridiculously overpowered strategy ready. We find her real body, Kim shouts. If we threaten the core, she has to drop the meat shield. The sword hero scoffs. Bro, it is literally an infinite snowstorm. Where's the core? Shockingly, Kim forgot. In the original comic, Lee just clapped the boss by slicing the entire dungeon. Kim aggressively chugs a potion. You handle the heavy lifting. Pumped with 10 minutes of crazy fast mana recovery, he starts charging a massive combo of orbs. Spoiler, Liao Jun is her true doom, not some random outsider. Meanwhile, John grills Park about his totally basic scuffle. Park claims he was just sweating from a humiliating defeat. The blonde guy nods along, making the clueless guard regret his terrible detective skills. He then asks if anyone holds a bitter grudge. Bursting into pathetic tears, the jerk swears he is completely clueless. D demands they actually protect the kids, while Jong bravely swallows the blame. Whoops, nobody predicted a secret dungeon phase. The panicked boss begs for a rescue plan, and the agent admits they must smash the front door open first. Plan B. Just pray the kids magically beat the boss and waltz out alive. Back at the creepy cave entrance, Professor Lee awkwardly orders the surviving students to stay put. Someone mutters that being trapped in a hidden phase is a total death sentence. He still has a mountain of questions for Kim, so if those students get a scratch, that kid is dead meat. Meanwhile, inside, Kim casually juggles his mana orbs while Lee is sweating bullets, thinking, how on earth do I fight this? The outsider smoothly drops the bomb that in this zone maximum power is totally allowed. The Ghost Witch senses a massive spike in their aura and panics, wondering what kind of crazy stunt they are pulling. A barrage of ice spears aggressively launches at their blind spot, but they instantly obliterate the attack with raw magic. Suddenly, Kim shouts that the golden boy needs to stop playing. Pretend. It is time to unleash his true monstrous strength. Lee suddenly realizes the only time he swung his sword with killing intent was during that brutal demon raid. He totally sandbagged his practical exams, terrified that his crazy power would accidentally vaporize a classmate. Lee realizes Kim saw right through his little pacifist act. The true main character tells everyone to drop their heavy training weights. The arrogant witch cackles, daring the pathetic brats to bring it on. Lee smirks, deciding that if Kim trusts him this much, he absolutely has to deliver an epic show. The witch suddenly chokes, blinded by an absurd explosion of light aura, while Kim screams at the hero to literally nuke the entire dungeon. Sensing fatal danger, the monster panics, but our golden boy unleashes a devastating beam straight through the abyss. The blast absolutely obliterates her chest, and the outsider confirms the parasite finally ditched Choi's body. Meanwhile, Lee is practically glowing like a divine sun, preparing the final judgment. The ghostly hag screeches that these filthy humans will never escape her domain alive. Kim just yawns, deciding this trash mob has outlived her usefulness. The protagonist swings his ultimate finisher and dices the nightmare into sparkling confetti. Sheathing his blade, Lee confirms the absolute overkill. Outside, the sweaty support mages desperately hammer the portal, but it barely cracks open by a pathetic 2%. Not even a mutated mosquito could squeeze through that. Tragically, that is their absolute limit. Even the guild elite fail to widen the gap. Meanwhile, Jung is sweating buckets, resigning himself to the ultimate career-ending reprimand, knowing he must face the music alone. The scarred veteran lays out the grim reality, but hilariously enough, the elite squad completely brushes him off, casually claiming Lee will stroll out any second. He demands to know what kind of nonsense that is, but gets his jaw-dropping answer instantly. A gargantuan pillar of divine light pierces the very heavens. The crowd panics, screaming about a boss break, but someone instantly recognizes that signature holy aura. It is just Lee casually melting his own weapon with too much power. The chaotic raid is finally over. The dusty witch is super dead, leaving behind an absurdly overpowered glowing sword. A sweet piece of loot that turbocharges aura and literally repairs itself. Kim orders the hero to loot it since he hard-carried the raid and needs a replacement anyway. But the ridiculously noble Lee tries to split the prize with the mastermind. The outsider totally rejects it. He casually volunteers to babysit the unconscious Choi, while the golden boy secures his well-deserved epic drop. Gripping the hilt, Lee is totally mind-blown. It is an S-rank weapon. He legitimately cannot fathom why Kim would reject such a god-tier item. The sly kid just banked 2,000 system points but acts super worried about Choi's massive mana drain. She is way too weak to survive that kind of magical taxation. This nasty hangover is the price of demonic possession. Lee hurriedly crams his shiny new loot deep into his pockets and nervously asks what Kim is plotting next. Kim smoothly claims he is just playing medic. He forcefully feeds her a priceless ice spirit heart, instantly supercharging her frozen core. The ridiculous buff makes her flutter her eyes open, and our anxious hero asks if she is still among the living. The girl instantly freaks out, screaming about why two dudes are staring at her. Amused Lee notes her fiery temper is fully recharged. Kim sarcastically praises her annoying vitality. Choi furiously demands to know where in the world she is. Skipping the boring recap, the outsider smoothly drops that they survived a hidden hell, and Lee practically solo-killed the boss to rescue her. Shocked, Choi realizes no academy student has ever pulled off something so insanely overpowered. Suddenly, the exit portal sparkles to life. The survival squad cheers, and Lee poetically mutters that sunlight never looked so freaking glorious. But before they step out, Kim ruthlessly guilt-trips them for a ride, pretending his mana core is completely fried. The exact second Choi regained consciousness, this absolute scammer spectacularly collapsed. His comedic timing with the weakness potion is just Oscar-worthy. When this massive disaster hits the news, the glorious spotlight will completely avoid him. All the fame will smack Lee Seo-jun and Cho Seo-yoon right in the face. It absolutely has to be those two main characters. The trio finally escapes, dragging a totally faking Kim behind them. The youngest legendary prodigy to ever conquer a hidden abyss is officially Lee, and once again, the entire globe is obsessed with his face. His absurd Blue Moon sword got appraised, boasting 2 god-tier enchantments that break the S-rank scale. The magical tabloids absolutely exploded, with articles drooling over the protagonist's monstrous genius, and overnight he became the planet's biggest superstar. Meanwhile, after a brutal interrogation session, it turns out the blonde bully was innocent of treason. But his pathetic schoolyard tyranny got fully leaked, resulting in a hilariously harsh suspension. From this day forward, that arrogant mosquito is permanently out of the picture. Despite a few chaotic detours, the overarching plot is completely back on its destined narrative rails. The dark truth about the shady Black Ops activities remains totally classified. And the Ice Princess is definitely using this shared trauma to shamelessly flirt with Lee. Honestly, calming down Yoon was the real boss fight here. She hysterically thought her beloved mentor was resting in pieces. While our manipulative outsider was busy scheming his next brilliant move, Choi rudely crashes his thoughts, claiming she just overheard something catching Lee's attention, so she drops by to say thanks. Our main character quickly throws Kim under the bus, saying she wanted to save the girl and fought like an absolute boss. The poor kid panics aggressively, pointing fingers at the other guy instead. This makes Choi scratch her head. Who rejects free glory? Then, glaring like a mob boss, he drops the bomb that Lee soloed that ghost witch. Troy just smiles, accepts this highly suspicious story, and cheerfully waves goodbye. Boom, her interest hits level 2, netting Kim 2,000 sweet system points. But man, the plot thickens. He seriously needs better damage control next time. Cut to a fit lady wrecking a treadmill. Meanwhile, our guy hits the school gym. He realizes leeching off Lee during that hidden stage gave him an absolute mountain of points, so he casually drops 50,000 points on the secret evolution trait. Boom. Cold resistance up, and his night vision is basically superhero level now. Sounds lame. Nope, it massively buffs his base stats. In the original lore, this belonged to the top second-year student John Mi. Oh well, finders keepers. Suddenly, 2 dudes ambush Kim Seon-woo. They ask what is up, and he proudly says he is bodybuilding. Lee roasts him, saying he sounds like a retired grandpa, but Shin gestures at the peanut gallery. Rumor has it, our protagonist starts every Monday by bench pressing small cars, gaining massive gains through pure sweat. Shin scoffs, saying those casuals do not even know. Cue a totally flashy flashback. The brown-haired dude calls her crazy and flexes, ready to show them what actual firepower means. Kim is hyped. He knows she has that terrifying never-give-up main character energy, but Lee ruins the vibe. Where is Teacher Jang Anel today? The buff guy basically lives in the gym when he is not teaching. Shin whispers that he is on patrol duty. Top secret stuff, guys. A dead body just dropped near the campus. Lee freaks out. A demon attack. But Shin chills, totally trusting the local genius to carry them. Our outsider sweats, knowing a demon could crash the party anytime. The spy is still roaming free. And spoiler alert, it is a literal demon in disguise. Rank 4. Third-year Park Min-yi notices Lee sweating buckets and hands him a towel. Our hero's danger sense is tingling. Little Shin shamelessly flirts with her, and she totally eats up the compliment. The protagonist nervously says thanks. She claims she is his biggest fan, but her eyes scream serial killer. Cut to last night, she was going full vampire on some random guy, sinking her razor-sharp fangs into his neck. Plot twist. She is a B-rank demon named Zhang Yi, the grumpy daughter of Zhang Han. After her human juice box, she scoffs. Look who crashed her dinner. He must be plotting another attack on the academy. It is the annoying Lord Qian Hui casually doing a performance review on his spy. Since her dad died, leaving her totally orphaned, this villain has been micromanaging her life. Zhang Yi smirks, wanting to mess with him, but Qian snaps that they will get busted. The Lord demands a status report and she rolls her eyes. With her fake identity, she cannot even get near Zhang. Plus, Haiyang banned her from getting revenge on Kim. It is pure torture watching the brats who packed up her dad. She throws a massive pity party. Cheon ignores the drama, noting that Lee Jun is currently the most hyped student on campus. During the raid, that kid practically screamed main character energy. The second the demon barrier popped, he casually strolled in. It was super suspicious, but her intel confirmed it. Lee Jun is 100% the child of prophecy. Getting hyped, Zhang asks if she can personally delete him. Cheon bluntly says she is too weak. The Lord clearly does not get the frustration of wanting a revenge snack, but being put on a strict diet. For vengeance and clan glory, she vows to erase this kid. Suddenly, a bearded guy claps. That is the spirit. Zhang jumps, completely missing his stealthy arrival. He nods approvingly. Not bad for a rookie demon. Cheon immediately bows, sweating bullets. He never thought the big boss would drop by unannounced. The top dog smirks, saying he just wanted to check on his minion's vibe. The girl's power level is basically trash, but her spicy attitude passes, so he officially drafts Zhang Yi into his squad. She is joining the raid to clap the Child of Prophecy, direct orders from the Demon King. And spoiler, declining is not an option when the king's right-hand man asks. Meanwhile, at the 5th Bukhan dungeon entrance, Yun is casually tossing a mana orb. Her magic is looking ridiculously polished. She launches it at the surrounding monsters, and the ugly little goblins absolutely scatter in pure terror. Smiling brightly, she asks if her aim was good. Kim gives her a thumbs up. Massive improvement. Just spam that technique until it is maxed out. Yun is amazed he found an exclusive training dungeon just for her. Our guy humbly claims it was pure luck. True, but in his past life as a C rank. As a mage, he stumbled upon this hidden dungeon by pure luck. It is a secret zone, totally absent from the original plot. A glorious VIP area for one, packed with creepy demon grunts. This hellscape is the ultimate boot camp to forge Yoon's mental armor. Our boy Kim casually asks what was running through her head while unleashing that crazy magic. Blushing, she admits that during their epic clash, her only thought was fiercely shielding her precious squad. You see the golden rule of handling explosive. World-ending magic is raw, unyielding willpower. And guess what Yoon's ultimate driving force is Kim himself. She totally idolizes the guy. So, he suggests they grind together every single weekend to fast-track her into the elite class. However, our smitten Yoon absolutely treats this as a romantic weekend getaway, just the two of them. From rank 82nd before the exams, she has already skyrocketed to rank 52nd. At this crazy pace, she will reach her overpowered original self in no time. Kim's eyes sparkle with mischief, realizing it is time to tackle the Zhang Wei menace. Originally, that villainess hunted down Lee for bloody revenge, pulling every dirty trick in the bad guy playbook. But plot twist. The ones who crushed her evil father were actually Kim and Zhang. So why on earth is she targeting Lee first? Smelling a rat, our brilliant outsider decides to strike before she can even blink. Zhang instantly glares at Kim, recognizing him as the pathetic extra Lee saved during the hidden stage. Rumor had it he wanted a word with her. Knowing he is in the spotlight, Kim fakes a serious tone. To eliminate this massive roadblock, he unleashes his ultimate cringeworthy weapon. Handing her a book, he passionately claims he wants to get close. Boom. A wild confession attack. His master plan, create an awkwardly intimate solo encounter, but Zhang just looks like she stepped in garbage, unlocking the glorious system achievement First Rejection. Ding. 1,500 points rewarded. Absolute catastrophic failure. The snooty demon lady scoffs that Kim is fundamentally repulsive to her. She furiously stomps off, swearing she would never stoop to date a lowly human. Our tragic hero accepts his humanity, but hey, he is definitely not ugly enough to trigger a gag reflex. Suddenly, Shin peeks from the shadows, pitying our rejected Romeo. Ding. Another 500 pity points. All going exactly according to Kim's grand design. Flustered, the kid swears he was not eavesdropping. Taking a brutal rejection is totally worth the sweet system rewards. Even if our guy secretly despises the spotlight. Kim playfully blames her nasty demon personality, then casually asks if Shin finished that agonizing magic theory homework. Groaning, the musclehead admits he rocks at punching things, but book smarts just bounce right off his thick skull. Smirking, the outsider offers his own flawless notes, but with one devious catch. He needs Shin to post a little something on the Academy gossip board. Soon wild rumors explode. Whispers spread that the bottom-tier loser is pulling crazy stunts just for clout. 247 nosy students are already hooked. Ding. Another. 1,500 points in the bank. The scandalous post claims that Park, the ultimate academy goddess, belongs to him alone. A total hands-off declaration. The faculty is literally grabbing popcorn, laughing at the drama. Meanwhile, Yoon is throwing a jealous fit, annoyed that her crush clearly likes older women. Yu sighs, pointing out it is an obvious troll job. Sweating bullets. Shin internally screams, "Yeah, I was the one who posted that cringe." He nervously whispers to Kim that he followed the script perfectly, but it seems to have spectacularly blown up in their faces. Chuckling, Kim admits it is slightly off script, but the bait was successfully swallowed. He calculated that Shin's massive social influence would broadcast this juicy fake romance everywhere, so he just gives a thumbs up. Over in the villain camp, Jen is literally boiling with rage. This viral nonsense ruined her sneaky plans. Sure, our boy dodging the ultimate loser title was nice, but now he is branded as the Academy's biggest attention seeker. However, if the demon assassin is publicly tied to this clown, sneaking around to murder Lee becomes impossible. And frankly, Kim has zero pride left to shatter. Though the fangirl's toxic reactions are reaching radioactive levels, one snobby student dramatically sighs that only pathetic weirdos stalk pretty girls. Grinding her teeth, Jang desperately wants to slice Lee into ribbons. But thanks to that little troll Kim, all eyes are glued to her every move. Under normal circumstances, she would just ambush the fool and end him. But right now, she has to retreat. Meanwhile, an absolutely massive plot point is brewing for Lee. The scene shifts to the grand closing time at the American Museum of Antiquities. A blonde guard stretches, signaling the start of the boring night shift. Their main target, the Solva, but the legendary President Kim Jin-cho crashed their party, absolutely wrecking their forces and slaying the boss, Jin Chun-woo. Among the epic loot dropped was this exact vessel, proudly displayed at the museum, just chilling behind glass perfectly safe. Or so they naively thought. Suddenly, the spotlight shifts to this priceless artifact. The crown jewel of the exhibit. Enter a terrifyingly gorgeous, mysterious woman dripping in dark aura. A clueless guard stammers that she missed the memo pointing to the exit. Ignoring the NPC, she smirks, whispering how utterly thrilling it is to see such a treasure up close. Way too dazzling to be caged in this boring dump. As the blonde guard shouts a warning, this relic is insanely dangerous. Only a true master can hold it. But the blonde woman smirks. The clerk freaks out. The association warned them about lunatic terrorists. He shouts that mystic power is meant for justice, but she just laughs. Great power demands a great purpose. You suits are just hoarding it. The clerk screams for security to toss this psycho out. But plot twist, the guard is already knocked out cold. She sighs, asking if Scar is bored. The absolute unit of a man grumbles. These weaklings are totally pathetic. The clerk panics. Those were A-class mages, and the alarms are completely dead. Suddenly, a girl with a massive red scythe shatters the relic's vault. She yawns, complaining they were only supposed to scare the guy and run. Guess the plan changed. The clerk collapses, terrified of these total monsters. Scar glares down at him. They might have stolen their god, but their dark will remains unbroken. The blonde remembers being called a filthy terrorist. Time to pay the price for blasphemy. The clerk's eyes widen in horror. They are the cult of John. And boom, the whole place erupts. Meanwhile, back at the academy, breaking news hits. The legendary doomsday cult John has returned from the grave. The security tapes are totally fried, but rumors say the villainous mastermind is the infamous Bert. Yu is completely paralyzed with fear. Yoon notices she looks like a ghost. Feeling totally sick, she runs off to rest. But RM knows the truth. The epic war against John is finally starting. Meanwhile, Bert is loving the chaos. She thinks her villain mugshot looks fabulous. Jin facepalms, complaining about all the hard work they did to hack the security for nothing. The Scythe girl shrugs. Some fool dared to insult their dark god. Natasha smirks, claiming she gave him an explosive redemption. Suv. But Scar is totally bored. Back in the good old days, they would have nuked the whole city block, Jin sighs. Times have changed, you meathead. Going loud is way too dangerous. Natasha reminds the big guy that the Dawnblade is hunting them. But Scar just flexes, ready to crush them all. Bert decides it is time to lay low. Jin is right, they totally rushed this job. Next stop, Korea. Scar is absolutely hyped. Plenty of strong fools to smash there. Natasha wants to hit the Soul Magic Arena. But Jin is terrified of running into Kim Jin-cho. Bert just laughs. Nobody expects a villain squad on their home turf. Plus, she has secret business there. The blonde guy asks about Lee. Bert smirks, knowing exactly what that kid means to their grand plan. The Scythe girl groans. That brat causes too much drama. Seriously, why is Beck playing security guard? Scar grunts that danger builds character. Bert agrees. Time to grab the fake identities. Tell Beck the bad guys are coming. Meanwhile, our main character finally logs in as Kim Jin-woo. The heat from Ryong is gone, so it is safe to grind. But before facing the legendary cult of John, he needs a massive stat boost. Enter Sean, the elite merchant, arriving early as usual. She could have used a delivery boy, but she missed her favorite client. She slides over the legendary loot he demanded. Sacred herb potions and high-tier combat boots. True S-class gear. They auto-adjust to his body and slice stamina drain by 20%. Kim sweats. This overpowered gear definitely costs an absolute fortune compared to normal items. Over a fancy dinner, Sean winks. She does not do basic gifts. A true merchant never disappoints. Welcome to Kantia, the legendary restaurant where Lee literally passed out from the insane taste. Kim is super skeptical. Is it really that mind-blowing? He takes a bite. The golden pasta melts. A divine mushroom aura explodes across his taste buds. The premium Han Wu beef clashes with the red wine glaze. It is a literal flavor nuke, crispy on the outside, magically tender inside. Sean chuckles at his mind-blown expression. Kim wipes his mouth. He cannot just take this epic elite treatment for free. But she playfully waves him off. That is not how their partnership works. But our guy smirks. He has currency way better than gold. He noticed she looked super stressed earlier, probably about that pesky terrorist threat. Pay 2 billion in 3 days. Or Hansung burns. Sean freezes. That is top secret. How could he possibly know that? Kim just gives a mysterious hero smile. He is totally right. Thanks to the John cult panic, things are insane. Plus her brother is trying a hostile takeover. Luckily her blackmailer is just a random thug, completely unrelated to the cult. It is just Jo Sung-hun, a shady underworld alchemist trying to milk some quick cash from her guild. Kim casually drops the bomb. Check your security team's bank accounts. You will definitely find the dirty rat working with the alchemist. Honestly, Jo is just a pathetic mob character meant to trigger a quest. So spoiling the plot is totally fine. Sean is absolutely speechless. How does this kid know god-tier secrets? And his background, total ghost. She dubs him Kim Jin-woo, pitching a wild idea. Clueless about who pulls his strings, she asks if he'd want to team up. With an absolute beast like him as her sword crushing her brother would be a total cakewalk. We are talking a salary in the millions plus god-tier perks. But our edgy outsider totally ruins the mood. He doesn't want the VIP treatment. He just wants to be her shield. Sean, however, hates playing on easy mode. Winning him over instantly is boring, so she schedules another dinner promising an even thicker stack of cash. Our boy is low-key sweating at the offer, but shaking hands means he would be instantly ditching his loyalty to Lee. Meanwhile, check out his new kicks. He can literally skywalk for 5 seconds every 2 minutes. 3 juicy options pop up. Thank the heavens for hidden stage loot. This absolute lunatic casually yeets himself off a skyscraper just for giggles, smoothly landing on the neighboring roof. Hey, parkour practice makes perfect. Cut to magic class where the boring professor announces a massive theoretical tag team research project next week. Shin begs for a deadline extension but gets brutally rejected. So our boy Kim decides to activate his overpowered loner perk, speedrun the whole thing in 1 day, and nap. But who is desperate enough to partner up? Suddenly, Yu aggressively marches over and basically claims him. The entire classroom panics. The 2 biggest brainiacs joining forces, so unfair. This uproar makes our fiery queen snap, terrifying the mob into absolute silence. She glares at Kim, daring him to object. He blankly agrees, completely clueless about why the ice princess is suddenly socializing. Yu coldly orders him to the training arena after school. Our awkward outsider realizes this is actually perfect. He needed to secretly investigate her stats anyway. But fast forward, and she aggressively wall-pins him romance manga style, demanding his darkest secrets. She smugly declares the dumb act is over, claiming she knows his true identity. Meanwhile, our poor guy is just completely short-circuiting.